it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Now you have the opportunity to actually fake something out.
I think Stream might be back.
Roaring Moon is going to be more of the problem. You could go for that.
Nice.
But you have to keep in mind that both of Adam's Pokemon on the field right now do have the opportunity and option to go for Protect.
Yes, be able to go for a defensive play, and we know that Adam isn't afraid of doing that. It's whether Shohei wants to read into that, make a really bold play, and go for something like a Nella Nasty Claw, but he doesn't need to. He's got the momentum right now. You could always just try and get some damage on the board with something like the Astral Barrage. Just try
Look at
and
Loon
get
use
these
Sabotage
Pokemon
on
into
the
a prime
stream.
position
That
to
is
KO.
so
Maybe
true.
with a Grimmsnarl boost, but you can also allow your Rillaboom to shine. There's no fake out coming through. The acrobatics comes through, not enough to be able to get the knockout, however, as the Astral Barrage from Shohei's is going to come through, connect on both the opposing Pokemon. No KO though, but of course the Calyrex Shadow Rider is not going to be able to take another one of those in the next turn.
No, but I mean, the fact that we do see this Astral Barrage in return with the Rillaboom already taking as much damage as it has, we're not going to be
Okay,
able
I've
to
not been
see
paying
what
attention to the
move
game because I've
is
been
going
dealing with
for
the
in
stream,
this
but
turn. It just gets knocked out
He's
from all of its
so
levels,
Adam
and
is like
because of how
kind
low
of
it was,
up,
it's actually
but
gonna
like
give
not
over
really.
Grenade
It's like a.
boost to
I
Adam.
think he's
So
in a
we're coming
bad
back
position
up
because
on par
Calyrex
here,
is
plus
dead
one
to
for both of
another
these Shadow
Astral
Rider Calyrex
Barrage.
special
Mhm.
attack.
In both games 1 and 2,
He
Adam's
can
very
protect and
kind of
Tailwind, which I
cleanly
think
able to
might
remove the
work, but
Rillaboom
if
on the
Incin
opposing
comes
side from the
back
field.
in here, I
Shohei's
think
Rillaboom
it
really
might
hasn't
be
done much
chalk.
other than set up the terrain.
He
The
needs
interesting
to
thing in this
switch
next turn,
out
we know that
his
that Roaring Moon is faster. It can go for a Tailwind, try
Calyrex
and get some
Shadow,
speed
but I
up
don't think
on
he
Adam's
will.
side of the field, enabling that Calyrex Shadow Rider with its new Grimnade boost to be able to put some pressure onto the field, maybe even get in range of a KO. But I think due to the dark typing, it's going to be really difficult.
Howdy, howdy.
Maybe a Draining
Hello?
Kiss here,
Hello,
particularly with the
Bobby.
Terra Fairy
What's up,
boost,
gang?
We're
Fairy type
at
attack.
home.
You might
What's
be able
going
to just
on?
get the
Welcome
knockout,
back.
but then
Did you
the
cook
Nice,
in
nice.
your car?
That's
We
what
are
the direction
just
is gonna
on
really
the
put a thorn
Pokemon
in your
World
side.
Yeah, he's very
Championships.
close though too, whether Adams actually even gets a chance to.
Who's winning?
That was a lot of damage.
Currently Shohei Kimura.
Japan.
So
Japan.
It could be a bit of a roll.
Shout out.
maybe. And
Shohei
I don't
Ohtani.
even think you're particularly
I got my money on
worried
him.
about, I think actually if you're Shohei, you're not
Matt
particularly
actually
worried about
does
the
have
amount
his
of
money
HP
on
that
him.
this Calyrex has. This
Really?
fact you might not actually
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
able to flinch the target. You're still faster. You could end up going for something
We did
like
some
a fake out
gambling.
into the Shadow Rider Calyrex. If you predict that maybe this Roaring Moon is not going to actually try to go for Tailwind.
You know what I like is the
For a little bit
Incineroar on
of damage.
Shohei's side is running Helping Hand. That could
That is
potentially
true.
be what
He
the
just
Calyrex needs to
gave
be
the
able to get
biggest
knockout on
smile
the
after he
opposing
saw
side.
Protect
Not
on
today, on the
Calyrex Shadow.
on
No.
Adam's side, it has gone for the
'Cause he
Protect.
faked
The
out
fake
the
will
other
actually go
guy.
down into the Roaring Moon, allowing the Calyrex on Shohei's side to try and go for another one of these Astral Barrages.
Oh, the Roaring Moon. We saw how much it took that turn prior.
I think he
to
needed
not
to
have
make a
any additional
read.
boost on
Oh,
Shohei's
it
side.
lit.
It's
It
actually
eats?
going to be enough to secure the knockout onto this Roaring Moon. That Protect, though, is going to be very beneficial for the
I don't know
Shadow
why
Rider
he
Calyrex
didn't
to
go
get a little
for,
bit of extra terrain
Draining Kiss. It's a
killing.
little
So
bold, but it would've
maybe
worked.
a little bit more confident for Adam that you would survive another Astral Barrage.
I think if it's a regular Astral Barrage, fine. Yes, Adam's Calyrex is going to be able to hang on there. But if there
This
a
is the
potential
most
for that
obvious
Helping
Shohei
Hand,
Protector
that's where the
switch I've seen in my
momentum could
entire
really
life.
swing in Shohei's favor.
Do
Because we
not
know
go
that
for
Calyrex
another
Shadow
Calm
Rider
Mind.
is
Do not.
currently the faster at the moment. It all depends if Roaring Moon wants to go for that Tailwind and try and even the score.
Adam is a very big decision to make here, though. Do you try to go for another Combine to see if you can actually try to withstand this Astral Barrage with the Helping Hand with something like the Tailwind? Oh, wait, there's actually just a Protect
opportunity
here.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity here for Adam. Whether he's going to be able to capitalize on it, let's see. The Tailwind is in place, so the speed is on Adam's side, but whether you can get that special defense and the special attack boost out with the Calm Mind, it is now in play. Incineroar might go for a parting shot, might try and bring down the special attack, but that special defense is staying where it's at, boosted.
Yeah, even though you do see that
Parting shot.
come through, you are able to continue to mitigate some of the Shadow Rider Calyrex's special attack. You still have to deal with the fact that it's under Tailwind now.
Yeah.
It is going to be faster than you. That Roaring Moon also going to be faster. And there's no additional option here for Fake Out that Shohei can switch in. That Rillaboom is already
Huge
gone down.
Splinter dude,
So
for
what
real.
is going to be this fourth and final Pokemon for Shohei in this game too?
I missed
Gonna be
it for a
good
second. Did
information for Adam, so
did
he can
Shohei
put
click
Pokemon around
Protect
to
and
see
Parting
which
Shot?
bit
Is
of a
that what
threat is
happened?
there.
I believe
It's got to
so.
be something to support this Shadow Rider
If he clicked the
Calyrex,
Calm
and it's
Mind, that
gonna
was
be
really
that
good then.
Amoonguss. It has the potential to go for these Rage Powders, draw in some attacks. Obviously, we know
Yeah,
the
he went
Roaring
for the
Moon's gonna intimidate it,
Shadow
it's
Rider
on its last legs,
on
another
Adam's side
Astral
went for
Barrage
Calm
will
Mind.
be able to KO
So he
it.
parting shot
But
it
the
back down.
Calyrex Shadow Rider on Adam's side. If you
Why
go
does
for
he
Astral
keep
Barrage,
wanting
that's
to
gonna
go for
deal some
knockoff on this
decent damage, but I
Amoonguss?
don't think it's
He
getting
wants
the
to get rid of
knockout
its
into the
mental herb, I
opposing
guess.
Calyrex here.
No, I mean it's gonna be really
Just kill
close,
it.
Right? Maybe this Amoonguss is able to hang on. to
Oh,
something.
why
Or it's
he
just a
fell
Protect.
for the oldest
It's
trick
not
in the
Amoonguss,
book.
And because it's slower, there's actually not going to be a
Just
Protect coming
acrobatics
from
the
the
Amoonguss
Shadow
and click
Rider
Draining
Calyrex.
Kiss,
Thinking
please.
that this acrobatics from the Roaring Moon was trying to target down this Amoonguss, but can
It
this
got
Astral Barrage
Splendor.
actually do it? Shohei is banking on the fact that it will not. as the Astral Barrage plus
To
1
eat it?
is not
Yeah,
gonna
he
be
eats that
enough,
in well.
Not nearly enough to secure the knockout. So an Astral Barrage in return, we know it should not be able to knock out this Shadow Rider Calyrex with those +2 Combine boosts, but it's enough to get this Roaring Moon and yet another special attack boost with that Grimnay.
This is the thing, Roaring Moon did its job.
I
in
think
terms of
Shohei's
setting
got this
up
one in the
tailwind,
bag.
But by going down, you give the Grimnay boost to the opposing Calyrex. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Even if you have +2 special defense, it's still going to hurt coming through with the boosts. And how do you deal with the Amoonguss? Amoonguss is sitting on the field, very pretty, full HP. You have the Incineroar. That is one way to be able to try and deal with it. You could always go for something like the Flare Blitz here, but there's still the Incineroar in the back for Shohei as well that can apply Intimidate and make it more difficult for the Incineroar on Adam's side.
Yeah, it's also important to note, though, too, that we do actually have kind of like a difference in strategy here from Adam. He ended up opting to leave the Urshifu at home. That would have been really nice just to have as an extra.
Still napping, Rosemary.
Yeah, I mean,
How embarrassing.
it's a little too early for that Urshifu at the moment.
But you're right, though. It's such a key physical attacker, and having that close combat would be really, really nice. But when you have the support of something like the Amoonguss, it makes it very difficult for Urshifu to shine. So some really nice adjustments.
Then out of the loop,
Adjustments on the field, actually.
what's
Yeah,
like,
boost and going, I need
what
to
are people
intimidate
running?
this opposing,
The horses.
Incineroar.
The
That's exactly what
the
Shohei is
horses,
doing.
Calyrex
That
Shadow,
Calyrex
Calyrex
Rider, and
Ice.
when Tailwind
Besides
is
that,
hit,
it's very
can come back and be
standard-esque
formidable.
Pokemon.
But here we go,
Incineroar,
the Astral
Rillaboom,
Barrage.
Amoonguss,
Decent
you know
damage
the
into the
general.
Amoonguss. Another one will
It's
kill.
so the same stuff
That's
since
the other
like
thing, right?
Yeah.
That you do have the opportunity to go for range
Okay,
power,
Sword-
but the
Sword and
fact that
Shield?
Astral Barrage is that spread
More or
attack,
less.
you know
There's
you're
more or
not
less.
More or less.
not gonna be able to
There's
horses were pretty
Miraidon.
big, right?
Instead, you get rid of the beast.
Yeah,
It's a
they were
very
pretty
tough risk
big.
to
There's
take,
like
but you are
Miraidon now,
hopeful
and
that
there's
the Tailwind is
also
going to
Sure.
inspire,
there's some
with the Amoonguss, yeah, getting
Protomon,
out
so
for trouble,
Fluttermane
does
and
mean that
Roaring
Shohei's
Moon, and
finally
I would say
able to
aren't the
find
paradoxes pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paradox
Well,
is
a couple of
pretty
them
good.
are. A lot of them are cheeks, but
Right.
the ones that are
Like
good
I'm
are
not
real
running a
good.
Screamtail.
Hold on, Screamtail has its
Yeah, don't
It's
say that
just
around.
not-
Don't say that
Yeah,
around Matt.
if
He'll
you
get
if
mad
you're
at you.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're Matt Schmucker and want to play Perish Song, sure.
I think someone had some pretty good success with, what was it, Encore Disable?
Encore Disable, Rock Tomb, yeah.
Little bit
Yeah.
predictable, I think. Maybe Shohei.
And
knowing
Matt's-
that he might
Matt's
have to go for
offended in
something
chat
like
right
Protect
now.
on this Calyrex, to get the speed back in his favor. But the
Tee-hee.
Incineroar here still is able to try to get a little bit of stuff done. Shohei's Incineroar does have a knockoff. It has the Helping Hand again, like you mentioned. So Helping Hand at the end of the day might still be beneficial, but Shohei being on his last two Pokemon here is a very tough ask as you take a look at this Rillaboom in the back coming in with full HP.
Yeah, bringing that terrain back to the field as well to help out the Calyrex and apply something like the fake out pressure going into the next turn, because I think Shohei might
Shohei
protect it,
did
exactly what we're
protect.
saying, stall out the last turn of Tailwind and allow your Calyrex to be faster, but then the fake out in the next
Yeah, but
turn
the
is going to be able
Rillaboom
to stop
threatens
it in
it
its
still.
tracks. Here comes through another
Pretty
hard.
barrage, obviously only going to be able to target down into that opposing Incineroar, do a little bit of damage, but a little is a lot at this point.
I
because
think
another
that's-
one of
I
those
think he
can
wins
head off
this.
anything that Rillaboom wants to throw
I'm
through
surprised
is
he
gonna be
does.
able to get the knockout on that opposing
He
Incineroar.
made some pretty
It all
bad
adds up.
reads.
Even just a little bit of chip damage coming through from the knockoff, it does remove this Covert Cloak. Not really a big deal.
Yeah,
anymore
Shohei's
in
kind
this
of in a
matchup
corner
because
here.
You don't have Fake Out
Uh,
available anymore or any other
I mean, Grassy
sort
Glide picks
of,
up, doesn't it?
secondary
I don't think
Yeah,
he's gonna
right,
even go for
exactly.
Grassy Glide. I think he's just gonna fake out this
looking at this right now-
That's
Calyrex.
fair.
go
Faking
for
out
another
is the
Astral.
play,
You
yeah.
can put the fake out down into that opposing
He wants
Calyrex. Shadow
he
Rider
wants
goes for
the
another Astral
instant
Barrage.
out of here. It's
The
probably the biggest
Incineroar
threat
on
to him right
Shohei's
now.
side doesn't have protect either, so it's gonna have to
I don't
take
even
the
think
full
it
is.
damage of one of these attacks. Looks like the double
It only has dark
fails
moves.
there on the opposing side as the fake out
Oh,
comes
you're
through,
right, it
connects
does
and
only have
stops it
dark
in
moves.
its
I
tracks.
keep
It doesn't have
forgetting
Flare
that.
Blitz,
Damage coming
yeah.
through here, targeting on both Pokemon. Gonna be able to get
Oh,
a knockout
Astral
on
Barrage
the
just
Calyrex,
killed
and then
Callie
it's
after
just a
the
matter
fake
of
out
time
chip.
for the little kitty cat.
It's not going to be able to get through all of this. There's no Flare Blitz on Shohei's Incineroar, so no way to hit this Rillaboom for super effective
Yeah,
damage.
Shohei is not
And
liking
even
this
if
one.
you are able to go for a knockoff here, still just not quite enough to
Vest de combat.
distribute the damage across the board. So that is 1-1. We're going into a game number 3 here for our very first
Game
match
3.
of
Matt
the
does not
2024
like this.
Pokemon
This is
World
not good for
Championships.
Matt.
That makes it very exciting. It shows
Okay,
absolute
now I can
mastery
lock in
and
for
caliber
game
of
3.
play
I
from
think
the
I
trainers,
fixed,
particularly the way
knock
Adam
on
was able to adapt
wood, I
in
think
that
I
game
fixed
two.
the frame
Shohei
drop
locking on the
issues.
forfeit, saying, "Let's go
Nice,
to a game
nice.
3 and see
All the
who's going
Marbs
to
for
win
game
this
3, yeah.
set."
All the Marbs.
Yeah, all the Marbs.
Great
Ooh.
adjustment
Marbs.
by
It's not-
Adam,
it's
leaving
not
the
like
Urshifu
the
at
whole
home.
world, but
I
it's
think he
definitely
just
all
had
the Marbs
so
for
much
this
more
match.
opportunity to try to
Yeah, what
get
round
those
are they in?
takeouts, make
This
sure
is the
that
first
he
one.
gets
Like knockouts?
drops. A lot more
Knockouts?
potential
Round
one
as
Swiss,
well.
yeah.
Swiss.
The parting shot as
Swiss.
well as the U-turn.
So no matter what, every person is playing 9 rounds.
Yeah, okay.
Who let Bobby in here? Bobby let himself in.
Yes, unfortunately for Shohei, though,
Oh yeah, I joined before I realized what was happening.
All good though.
As you can see here, getting those boosts up very early doors in this game too just meant that you had to rely on the Incinerals going for these parting shots to try and negate.
I would have put
some of
it
that
in like the
pressure onto
channel
field.
description
Yes,
or whatever,
Mirage
but I
only
think they
dealing
removed that
counter
feature
damage, but also hitting both Pokemon on the
from
opposing
Discord.
side leaves very little room for error here.
Did they remove it, or can you only do it if you're an admin of the server?
I don't know. I used to be able to do it in here.
Oh, okay.
So maybe Kyle stripped my perms away because he hates me.
That does sound like something Kyle.
Kyle would do that. Kyle does hate me.
Cringed a little bit. He's like, "Oh, this is definitely not what I wanted to see." Another Calm Mind boost meant
Maybe he gave me the jail perms.
But I love
Put
that.
me in
Adam
prison.
playing, you know, a bold choice to go for a second setup in a match.
I wouldn't mind
but
being in
capitalizing
handcuffs.
So well on Shohei's defensive play, and also I think in the end game bringing in the Rillaboom right at the end.
Sorry, I was reading work stuff. Oh no, I was talking about how there used to be like VC channel descriptions, and I think Discord just removed the feature.
Love seeing that come through. If we focus a
But then
little bit
Cam
on
was like,
the
maybe
games,
Kyle just removed
both
your
these trainers
perms.
have kind of obviously brought
We were
their
talking
restrictions,
shit.
They've brought some really big support. Shohei in the form of that Incineroar, but also critically the Amoonguss. In game 2, Adam was able to play around that Amoonguss
it was a
little
really
bit better, being able to already have kind
years
of
to
the
do
stack
here, I
boosted
think.
Calyrex
Bro,
to
I
be able to
knocked on
actually
wood and then my
different
frame started
amount
dropping
of
again. This is fucked
Dude,
up.
and then Amoonguss.
Oh, there we go.
Well, my
You just
stream
right-click
actually
it.
does as well.
You can also
I could do
feel
it.
just how pivotal in that game was
Oh,
won. That's
nice.
how it
Yeah,
really
just-
was.
Oh, blessed.
Oh, blessed. Thank you. Hi,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle, you trying to say something right now?
This guy's at work. What the? You're on the clock, brother.
That damage. The Amoonguss staying alive a little bit longer.
Do 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 do.
We'll see how
came in
either of these players
right.
decides to
Game
adjust
3
or
situation.
Shohei. It is going to be an adjustment of leaving the Incineroar either on
Oh,
the bench
thanks,
or in the
Kyle.
back.
Appreciate
It's
it.
Amoonguss now on the field instead. Adam trying to go back through with that game 2 game plan.
I love this coming out from Shohei here, knowing that the Amoonguss was so disruptive in game 1. Let's bring it out front and center to already get up to some shenanigans.
I think if I'm
You can try
Adam,
and go
I'm
for
actually
some
going to make a
redirection
read here. I'm
You
just
can
going to
try and
knock
support
off
your
the
opposing Calyrex. But
Calyrex,
Incineroar,
and I'm
a
gonna
really nice play
Terra
coming
Fairy
in
Cult
here for
Mine
Adam.
again.
It's almost forcing Shohei to have to go for
That
the
was what I would
or
do.
protect onto his own Calyrex to stop the Calyrex.
Well, I mean, you're
Because at
forcing
worst,
you're
you get
forcing a
direct
Terra. I don't
hit.
think he's gonna. Yeah.
But
I think you
do
fake out the Calyrex,
you
to
know
be
what,
honest.
do you want to try to do something a little bit different?
He's
You could
flare
go for the
blitzing
parting
and
shot
draining
the same
kissing the
way,
Calyrex.
but you know the Amoonguss
Honestly,
also
He,
kind of-
he is saying
honestly-
just a Moongus is
powder away from
protecting.
that.
Honestly,
There isn't
I don't
honestly,
hate it.
grass tier
Honestly?
available from either of these Pokemon. Incineroar for Adam is going to have a
I think
water,
I think
so
fake
there
out is
not really
probably
great
a
way to
better
actually try to
call.
get
Well,
around the
actually,
powder or the spores.
yeah.
Silveroy, a new talents. Highly that French language isn't real, brother. Ooh,
I
switch.
like feline Inferno.
What, Incin? Yeah.
This is unfortunate because I think Callie's going to sleep.
Callie's going to bed, yeah.
Ooh, Callie's
Well, I
going
don't
to
know. It
bed
could still
here.
protect. It's still protect wouldn't have happened yet. It still could protect technically.
I just don't think there's a reason to switch your Callie and protect.
No, not really.
As we've seen from Adam in the game number 1 and game number 2, he's
Flare
once
Blitz
tried
and
to get
Wisp,
those
I believe
combos
it's
to block
running
right
both of those,
away
yeah.
for this Shadow Rider.
Oh, that would have been a crazy play. So he didn't Flare Blitz. He ended up Calm Minding.
Yeah. Fake out
If it
Calm
does,
Mind.
that would be
Yep, there it
absolutely
is.
Yep, good night.
Goes into the Shadow Rider
Good night.
from Adam.
Good
Ah,
You're
Good
able to
night.
get
You make
that
a
Calm
read.
Mind boost up.
You
It's
make a read and
immediately
you're
put
just
to
wrong.
sleep.
At least it's going to be able to get its turns in early when the opposing Calyrex isn't on the field. You have the Incineroar now. You're a fairy type, so you don't have to worry so much about things like the knockoff coming through. We saw what negligible damage that was able to deal before.
I
But
think
then if you
Amoonguss
lose
sludge bombs
your
here.
combat cloak, that's where fake out
I mean,
becomes
yeah.
rolled
I don't. It
into
doesn't.
the
It can't
match
really
as
do
it
much
goes
else.
through.
I mean, you
If
can put
either of these traders
you
don't
can put
have one
Incin
of
to
those
sleep, I
players get
suppose,
rid
but
of
I
them
don't
as
really
fast
think
as
that's worth it.
possible. You have to kind of rely on
It's
your
not
Incineroar,
worth
but
it.
again, Incineroar in a position
Incineroar's
where it can be
probably
good to see in
switching
this
out
turn as
here
well. It doesn't
if
want to
I'm,
get off the field, but there's no
Adam
safe
anyway.
switch in other than potentially a Rillaboom.
Even then, right? Do you really want to put yourself in a position where you're sort of off cadence? Is the Rillaboom okay in that position when you think that maybe there's a Shadow Rider Calyrex waiting in the wings to just peek its head back out before the Shadow
The way
Rider can wake
Shohei
up on
just reacted,
Adam's
though, I
side,
think
but
he might
it
have
is
gone
going to
for
be the
score.
Rillaboom. You don't want to let another Pokemon go to
I feel like it
bed.
wasn't worth
It's
it.
too early for that. In this
It never
World
was, I don't think.
Championships, and you
Silveroid
gotta make sure that
dork.
The Shadow Rider wakes up. There's the
Silveroid
mandatory
dork.
turn. try to
Yep,
get
there's
it
the
out of here,
parting
but the
shot.
Parting shot, get it back
into that
down,
slot,
then get your
also
Calyrex back
going to
out.
make sure that
Yeah.
Shohei can get another pivot in.
Yep,
For
insult to
sure.
injury here as the Incineroar
Unless
able to
the
get off
Mon
the
and
field.
backs
It's not running
Rillaboom, in
Flare
which
Blitz,
case
so
that
it's
might be a
not
better
something
call
that
right
can
now.
really
Rillaboom,
apply
I think,
pressure
is
to
better,
that
yeah.
Opposing Rillaboom. So it's nice here for Shohei to
Yeah,
adjust
Rillaboom's
things, bring
definitely a
Pokemon
better
that
call
can
because
apply
then you can
defensive
wood
pressure,
hammer
maybe
this
even
Calyrex.
capitalize on the
Mhm.
fact that
And
this
Rillaboom's not doing
opposing
much else,
Calyrex
I think,
hasn't
into
been
this
allowed
matchup,
boost,
unless the
and
Urshifu's
now
in the
we're in a
back,
position
which
where you
I
can
think
start
they
dealing out some big
successfully
damage. Particularly
encouraged
if
him
it
not
keeps
to
sleeping,
bring.
you could go for another nasty
Yep,
here.
there it
Yep,
is.
Good,
there it
but
is.
This Calyrex is just
Yeah,
going
he
You also
does
know
it.
fake out pressure.
back there. It's going to be the Rillaboom once again here for Shohei. It's the adjustment that we saw in game number 2. But this time around, when you take a look at the
What?
Rillaboom, you know that it has U-turn.
Do
You can
both
actually
do
just try to
both
get
of the
some super
Rillaboons
effective
have fake
damage
out
down into
pressure?
the
Oh,
Rillaboom
they
on
do.
the
Yeah,
other side.
yeah, he just switched in.
Unfortunately, it is just going to be the fake out into that slot. So we
What
don't
is that
get a chance
parting
to
shot
get back the
animation?
wake
It
up
calls
here
you
from the
slurs
Shadow
and then
Rider
exits. It
on
does.
Adams. He's gonna get the
Oh, so we got the
double
wake.
damage down
That's
into
pretty
both
big.
of these Pokemon. There's no
He
assault
won the
vest here
speed.
on
I
Shohei's
assume
Rillaboom.
he's
Trying to
just the
withstand
faster
that, but a Sludge
Rillaboom.
Bomb just
That does
whizzing
nothing.
away
Yeah,
at this very tight
That does
Shadow
literally
Rider.
nothing. Oh
It's
my
a
god.
little
He has
away,
calm
but
mind, he has
even though
calm
it's
mind
super
up.
effective,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
not
but
dealing a
still, it still
monumental
does
bit of damage,
nothing.
Particularly with the grassy terrain on the
I
field,
mean, you're
being
right.
able to allow the Calyrex Shadow Rider
I
to
don't-
regroup a little bit.
Does he
It's
win
I don't
this?
like
however,
protect.
I think that was.
I don't
I
like
think
protect.
that was a game-winning play.
Amoonguss is able to put it back to sleep here.
It
Yes,
was
but
a really
the
good
amount of
play,
damage
but
that
I
he's
think the
done so
second
far,
play is
not
bad. I don't like
necessarily.
protecting
So
Cali
protect
here.
that we see Adam hovering
Yeah.
over would be a great way to be able to
Yeah,
protect
probably
himself
not.
from that.
I would go
Rillaboom
for
sticks the
damage.
field, though.
I think it has
I don't know what it
Yes,
would.
Incineroar,
What's
he can bring
threatening?
that back
Glide?
up. Got the Intimidate drop down onto the Rillaboom once
Watch
again.
sleep
glide,
again.
Force
but
Adam into this game of chicken.
well,
Do you
but
wanna try to
Amoonguss
get
supposedly
this
definitely
Rillaboom off the
dies to
field,
Astral
try to
Barrage
reset
plus
those
U-turn,
Intimidate
right?
drops, and leave someone else a bit
100%.
more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Really looks in the driving seat now.
So I
though,
guess
because
maybe
yes,
he-
the Rillaboom's gonna get off the field.
Maybe
This
not.
Intimidate is
Maybe,
really
you know
doesn't
what?
do
He
too
actually
much,
might
and you
not.
have
He
to
actually
protect
might
your
live.
Calyrex Shadow Rider that
Because
has
if he
got the
lives and then
prototyping,
puts
so
Calyrex
basically
back to
the
sleep, it's
opposing
Jover.
Incineroar
So
may be able
I
to
kind of
come
I see
through
it.
Once you knock it off as well.
I do see
with
it.
the,
Why does
knockoff,
why
obviously,
does
on the
Eclat
Incineroar,
Spectral
removing
do
that
half to
Covert
both
Quest play.
mons?
The Rillaboom on Shohei's side, sitting in a very vulnerable spot. You've already mentioned a lot about how the Assault Vest isn't in
No,
play,
that was
which
actually a
makes
good
it
play.
very
I didn't
difficult for
realize
Rillaboom
that
to
the
have
damage was
longevity
just
on the
not going
field.
to be that
Spore
much.
coming through, Amoonguss doing what it does best, just trying to shut down this opposing Calyrex. And this
Yeah,
is what I
welcome
like
to-
about
welcome
it.
to the
Before
horse.
Incineroar run, you could choose your fake out target here. I think if you're going to shut down that opposing Amoonguss, that would be best. You don't want to Spore, and you can maybe
Bluff.
allow that Calm Mind to come
Eclat
Oh, he's going for
Spectral.
Calm Mind
Good.
again.
Or you can even just potentially secure the knockout with something
yeah,
like
true.
the Astral Barrage. At this point, I think it would be a little bit too close for comfort. So Adam opting to try to get in a bit more of that special defense.
Is this
capability
Incineroar a
with Shadow
speed
Rider.
tie or
Still full
faster?
HP. There's also no Terra yet used on
I don't
Shohei's
remember.
I
side.
assume if
That's
he's
a
going
very
for it,
important
it's probably
decision.
faster.
The first two games that we saw.
Unless
Yeah,
he's banking
if
everything on the
if he knows
50-50,
he-
right?
yeah, he wins the speed
The
tie.
fake out going down into that pesky little
If it's a
mushroom
speed
there.
tie,
The
he
fake
might
out
have
comes
speed
through
investment.
on the opposing Incineroar as well into
He
this-
seemed
oh,
pretty
there was actually
confident
the
about
knockoff,
clicking
getting rid of
fake
the
out
item
there.
Yeah.
Coming through. This is what Adam likes to do with this Calyrex, just trying to negate a potential parting shot. Particularly as there wasn't one in this.
Wait,
big
but doesn't
map now,
Calyrex just
this
go to
boost
bed
is
now?
gonna be in play going into the next
No.
turn as well.
Oh, no, he
No,
faked out. He
Moonguss
faked
faked
out.
out.
He faked out. He
Going
faked
for
out.
something
Faked out.
like the Astral
I thought
Barrage
the
could
instants
really
faked out
shift
each
the
other.
rest
It's
on
my
the
fault.
potential of that Amoonguss.
It's such a tough call, though.
I think
right?
you just
So
swap
he's
in
considering
Rillaboom
maybe
for
I could
Instant
just go
here,
for the fake out.
or
I
you
think
go
that would
for
at least be doing a little bit.
like I just
If
don't
I'm
like
lucky,
knockoff or
I'm
Flare
able
Blitz and
to
Instant
get
is the thing.
The fake out into the Incineroar.
Why
is he
but
doing that?
there's
Instin's kinda
also the play
doing-
that you could have parting shot in that turn. Very, very tough call to
No,
make.
it's in a fine
Unfortunately,
position,
going to go
I
for the fake
think.
out. It's going to be a very moved turn here for Shohei as you look at the Amoonguss and Incineroar.
Yes, I think the Incineroar.
Yeah, I would
on
knock off
Shohei's
that
side's
slot
in a very
and hit Eclat
interesting spot here,
Spectre.
because you could
Eclat
essentially
Spectre.
just boom in and just kind of, I don't know, let it go down to be able to bring and intimidate back in later on. But it's all about this Calyrex right now. Being able to go for this Astral Barrage, not going to be able to get any damage.
Can
down
Shohei
onto
kill the
opposing
horse? Not
Amoonguss,
with his
and
Incineroar.
you're able to connect down onto the Incineroar.
Oh my,
Significant
the
chunk of damage,
Incineroar's
but
not
really
doing
putting it in the danger
taking
zone
any
as the
damage.
Incineroar
That's parting
on
shot,
Adam's
not
side
knock,
decides to
by the way.
Make a little bit of a switch,
Oh. So,
things around.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm not speaking French.
The field, get a little bit more HP back with its regenerator ability and rejoin a little bit
Eclat.
later on, but it's what you're going to do in its place.
No fourth Pokemon reveal.
Yeah, no fire move on Ensign
from
is like really
Adam.
screwing him
You
right
can see
now.
what is in the back
It
here,
is.
but you're always looking
Like
for an
what he
opportunity
replaced,
to
he
actually
gave up
get
a fire
that
move for
piece
what?
in
Helping
at the
hand?
right moment. A parting
So,
shot
like,
here
I
from
guess
This
he
is
might
also
have-
just a
Going to
terrible
allow it to
position
pivot
because
off of
what does he do?
field
Bring in
while
Callie
also
and get
dropping
fake
that
out?
special attack
Yeah, no, he
down.
can't kill the
Barrage.
he can't kill the horse. He can't touch the
Okay, There's a
horse.
couple of options. Like as you said, you could bring in the Rillaboom if you wanted.
He
You have the
actually cannot
opportunity
touch
to
the
go
horse.
fake out into the
Like
other
I don't see a
slot.
single.
But
He
I
could
think
fake
the
out the
friend,
horse
bring
himself,
back
but
out
he
the
can't do
Shadow
anything.
Rider.
As long as Amoonguss is in that second slot, he can't do anything.
He can't fake out the horse
Like
anyway. Horse has-
Sludge Bomb
has
does.
overflow.
Storm is like a 7-hit KO right now.
By a tailwind from the Roaring Moon. So if you're Shohei, you're going to be pretty confident.
You gotta start tacking them on, no? You gotta do something at some point.
Yeah, I mean, like, try to bait. So I guess the problem is that Amoonguss will always die because it's gonna move last, and it dies to an Eclat Spectre.
Once again, protect your Calyrex. But Amoonguss getting out of there, going to regenerate some HP.
Is it Rilla?
Also, maybe if you're bringing in a Pokemon from the back.
Incin again, I think. Yeah.
Just fucking Incin.
If Shohei's keeping his own, like,
What a tough call, though.
horse, he has to Terra it, right?
He has to Terra
Yeah, he
it,
does.
yeah. It's Terra Dark, so it should take at least like 1 or 2. I imagine it takes 2.
Withstand this oncoming damage in your own
Even
right.
though it's
The only
boosted.
problem is if you do see something like
Probably.
that Draining Kiss,
I think he's
are a bit
boosting
vulnerable
more
to that.
though
You have
because
no
I think
way
he
to
got
try
that
to
parting
retract
shot off.
that away.
No, but he got
And
another
it's just
Calm
gonna
Mind
have
off,
to
I'm
be
pretty
a
sure.
nasty play. You want to try to outpace
Yeah, I've seen
the
2
Okay.
Calm
Calyrex
Minds.
on Adam's side.
Okay.
It's going to be the
Eclat
Astral Barrage
Spectre.
that's coming through, connecting on both the opposing Pokemon here.
Oh, that does. He eats like 4 of those. Oh my god.
Considering there's a nasty plot on the opposing side, if I was Adam, I'd be
But now he's gonna
in my
send.
little
Now he's gonna
boots
get
right
his
now.
Incin in
Send it
again.
in. Incin,
Yeah.
Come back across the field at you right
He's
now.
gonna get a fake
So
out.
it's been a
It's
bit of
gonna be.
slow
It's
game.
gonna be a
Really
time.
waiting for this kind of like this opening. Both of
Yes.
these players are
I think I
looking
just fake
for
out the
right
Incin or
opportunity
the
to try
Calyrex
to just
keep him honest.
put the
Mhm.
pressure on the gas.
Well, there's no safety net, right? This is game
I just
3.
don't
The
think
winner
I
of this
care
game wins
about
the
what this
set, so
Incin
there is
does
no
here.
room for
Incin
error.
can't do
It's Pokemon
anything,
World
yeah.
Championships. It's game 3 of
Yep.
round 1. You want to set the
He's
tone.
gonna
Oh, he's
go
Calm
for it
Minding again. This guy. No, because
I
he's gonna
don't
get you.
know
He's
about
gonna get
that.
parting shotted. I feel like you don't do that.
The Incineroar could actually try to stop this Shadow Rider in its tracks. Shohei's worked so hard to try to get these nasty plot boosts onto this horse who can actually start to get itself into this
I like
race.
it though. What's he gonna do? It's
He
not like
can't-
you're gonna
yeah.
get an attack. You may as well stay neutral.
He can't- yeah, he can't
do
anything.
It's the special defense boost.
Yes.
Because you're against such a formidable special attacker in the form of the Calyrex.
The
you need to make
ideal
sure that
turn
even
for
as the
Adam
Fairy type,
here
you're gonna be
is
able to
that
hang on
he
to these
protect.
Astral Barrages
Oh,
and make sure that you can do
Switch to
significant damage,
Incin?
even with like a double up
For
potential from
Amoonguss?
something like the Incineroar, and get rid of the threat on the opposing
Yeah.
side.
Interesting.
Speaking of threats, Amoonguss is back on the field.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah,
defensive play from
okay.
Shohei comes through in the
I
form
mean,
of
this
the
We're
is a
back
great
to this
turn for
position
Adam.
You're gonna be able to bypass
Fantastic
that
turn
fake
for
out.
Adam.
That way you're
It's
not
not
actually
actually
going to leave
super
yourself
lovely.
vulnerable to taking too much damage. The Amoonguss gets a chance to switch back in. You're not worried about it taking too much damage.
No, I
Come
think
on, though.
it's a great turn.
Ooh, it's starting to
Oh,
get a
wait,
little
you're
bit
actually-
out of
you're
hand
actually
here.
so
This
right,
is
'cause
the
Incin
third
can just
combine
Flare
that
Blitz
Adam's been
the-
able to go for
'cause
in
his
game
Incin has
number
Flare
3,
Blitz.
which means that special
And now
defense
this is like
Yeah.
plus
stages.
2 question mark.
I honestly
Plus
feel like in this
2,
game
but I
three,
think
we've
it's
been,
plus,
climbing
like,
up the hill
3
like a roller
Spadef.
coaster. You're going up, 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 up.
Oh,
We're
sure.
about to hit the
Drop off
peak
is
and
soon.
roll out with the damage here.
A crit
The
would
fact that these
ruin
combines
Adam's
are
A crit would
really
ruin it.
able to
Yeah,
build
crit-
nasty
a crit
plot on the
loses to a
opposing
crit.
side. Means the momentum
He's
is
making a
going to
bold
peak.
read.
Something like the Astral Barrage coming through.
What
on
did he do,
Adam's
Flare
side,
Blitz
followed
and-
by a
And it
potential
pays
Flare Blitz
off!
that Amoonguss
Wait, did he
could
Flare
be
Blitz
a
and-
success, but
Yeah,
he's
he
playing
did
very
Astral
Flare
Barrage?
Blitz
carefully,
the-
going for the
he
protect,
did
as on
Flare
Oh,
Blitz
shit.
the
Calyrex
Astral
is
Barrage.
able to go for the Astral Barrage.
Eat.
First of all, connects down, decent damage, but no KOs.
No KOs
What's
just
up,
yet, but
Selena?
it looks like it could be very close onto something like
Eclat
that
Spectre.
Incineroar.
Eclat Spectre!
The Astral Barrage in return.
This is
down
gonna
to
do
what
a
this
lot,
Incineroar is able to
even
do
though it's
on
resisted.
the outside of this.
I think Flare Blitz
Yep.
kills.
That
Flare Blitz
No
kills
attack,
that.
no
Flare
Flare
Blitz
Blitz.
100%.
Flare
Yep.
Blitz into that slot.
Yo, there it is.
Whoa.
Enough to get the knockout.
Goodbye.
Shohei losing is restricted in this third and final game of the set.
It's down and out. It left the field.
Oh.
Come back in, got set up, but just wasn't
He can't
able
win.
to get the knockout
He
here.
can't touch
A
the horse.
sign
The
of
horse. He
celebration
can't
there
touch
for
the horse. He has
Incineroar
no.
on the
He has
field.
no fire
Of
move
course
on
he's not
Incin.
gonna
He
be
can't
able to
touch
get
the
any
horse.
boost from this,
I mean, he
but
could like
certainly
wood
takes
hammer it, I
momentum
guess,
into
but I
Adam's
don't.
favor. The Amoonguss sitting very vulnerable now
More
to a
importantly,
very
he
similar
can't
play.
touch
The Astral Barrage
Rillaboom.
and the Flare Blitz
Yeah, he
coming
can't
through.
touch
Rillaboom,
Rillaboom.
same boat here, 'cause it is not running
He
that
can't-
assault
Does
test.
Incin not have a fire move?
His Incin. No, his Incin only has
Hook is still
knockoff.
intact.
Oh,
That is
boy.
going to be a big problem here for
That's
It's
what I'm
Shohei.
fake out.
saying.
His Incin is
The
fake
rest
out,
of the
knockoff,
Shadow
helping
Rider
hand,
powers
and
HP pool. Still sitting at half.
The
Gonna be
best
getting
play
a
from
little bit
Shohei
Parting
here
shot.
is
recovery as
immediately
well as his
switch
grassy terrain
Rillaboom
is
to
still active on
Incin,
the field.
unironically.
It's all about what's in the back here. Adam sees
Yeah,
it
probably.
out, sees the win at the
Let's
end
go,
of the tunnel,
Feel Inferno.
And that is with the super effective damage. as
Reviens,
well as
Feel
Baki
Inferno.
And honestly, I love that.
Okay,
Because
wait,
if you
French
switch
is
to
kinda
Incin
hype.
here, you get fake out pressure again, which
Yeah.
means
On
the
next
Rillaboom
turn.
has to fake out the Incin, and you can floor and hope Amoonguss lives.
The grassy terrain has come back onto the field as
He
well.
went for Grassy
Gonna be
Glide.
able to get that recovery up.
Yeah,
give the
it's
Calyrex a little little bit more
literally,
on the field here. As the spore comes
you
through,
cannot
of
do
course,
anything.
It's going down into a Rillaboom.
No,
It's
you're
not
getting
gonna
faked
do
out
any
now.
connecting here.
It's still
Rilla's
something,
getting
though.
faked
You
out, or
have to
Lucas is
hope
getting
that
faked
it's
out.
anything
It's
on the other
it's
side of the
chalked.
Incineroar. Yes, and literally
It's chalked.
anything but. Even in something in the back, you know that it's going
Like
to be
crit
susceptible
Grassy
to
Glide
that fake
could
out,
ruin it, but you
or
just
to
fake out the
that spore.
Calyrex and
So
you're fine.
now what's next, right? For Adam, it's still about trying to make sure that you've got the Shadow Rider Calyrex able to pin and
Arithmetic
finish up the game.
recuperate
Yes, and
APB.
again, if you're Adam, you have 4 Pokemon remaining, so you have a little bit of
Eclat
flexibility.
Spectriel.
He's only got 4 of those left.
U-turn and the parting shots on your kind of Rillaboom
Only
and
4 more
Incineroar
Eclats.
Pokemon, so you can keep
4
applying
more
pressure
Eclat.
with these intimidates.
Ooh,
he fakes out Rillaboom.
Just
Smart,
completely
smart,
shutting
smart,
them down
smart.
here as well with the fake out.
Because here's the thing. He could, your Calyrex could get put to sleep this turn if Amoonguss eats this. I don't care.
No.
I don't care at all. You don't have a move that can damage Calyrex.
I mean, it's asleep. He's
Yeah,
got
that don't
Sludge
matter.
Bomb
It
Amoonguss.
don't matter. It don't matter. What do you do?
Dude, he still has a 4th unrevealed. You don't even care that much.
Yeah, it's
Now
rolling.
now you're
He has Roaring Moon in the back. Instant can't touch it.
Yeah, you're 1.5.
He does have Roaring. This is not a good day to be
Roaring
bad.
Moon just wins,
Terrible
yeah.
day to be bad.
The Rillaboom as well, not going to be worrying too much, particularly when there is such low HP on that
Dude,
Incineroar.
physically sick, sick in the head.
Yes, it can't do too much.
Wallet's bleeding.
You can clean up into that Amoonguss with something like the U-turn. You can maybe
He just
try
went
and go
for one
just
hammer on
low.
Ensign. That's
Wood
crazy.
hammer
I would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
combat.
But
he-
that's
he-
show how
okay.
he succeeds.
Good first
That's-
round.
that's
Jeez.
Good play. Honestly, great play by Adam.
Oh,
Game
yeah.
3 was amazing.
Oh, brother, your shirt's creased. We don't see it.
That's crazy.
And it was just too much for Shohei to try to get through.
That's got to be a good feeling.
That is-
right
it
there.
is not a
Day
good day to be
one,
mad
round
right
one
now.
of the Pokemon World Championships
See?
taking down the reigning champion. And I have to say, both trainers.
The next time any of you motherfuckers try to tell me to I can get rid of Flare Blitz on my Ensign, I'm never. I'm pointing to this game.
Save the bod, save the
you
bod.
had Nails.
But hey, it's only round
I have
one, there's
Nails.
plenty more to go. I'm sure it won't be
Nails
the last
lost
we see
his
of him
first
today.
game.
Yes, you still have that extra life there.
Oh,
as
yeah, wait,
well,
pairings
as
there.
200
Let's
is going
let's
to
check
be plenty
pairings.
to be able to get you through to that day 2 competition.
Oh, are pairings
And
live
you
for
can
day
take it
2?
from
Oh,
there.
no,
But
I'm just
it's
gonna
always
check to
gonna
see
be
who
one
won.
match at a time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's take a look back.
Let's
Some of
see.
the
Those
I gotta.
people, by the way, still got their
I'm making
one.
this big. I need to be able to
At the
read
very
this.
beginning here too, I mean, Shohei, he sort of just changed up the script.
I'm looking for my
He
guys.
didn't leave his Shadow
Who
Rider
had
on the field.
Frederico
Decided maybe
Campo?
it's time for it to shine
Someone
just
did.
a little bit later. Didn't use the Terra either. Just tried to preserve that for later on in the game.
I don't think
but
anyone
that
did.
gave Adam
Oh, no,
so
Matt
much
did.
opportunity to
He
weave
won,
around
he
his
won.
pieces, weave
Okay.
in those
Oh,
calm
Michael
lines,
Kelch 1-0. Oh, I think he got a
so
bye,
much
but still.
quickly.
And I think
He's
as well,
there.
that score on the opposing Calyrex could have been so detrimental if more sleep turns
There.
had kind of gone through in the match. But the fact that Adam was able to wake
Check
up,
these.
get the damage on the board, and this play in particular.
Damn,
you
was
got
able
money
to
on
go
this
for
too?
double up.
The
Yeah, I
Jesus
do.
lover. The Jesus lover is 1-0.
Do you have
Such
do you have
Pokemon for
Prizzy's
play,
stream pulled
just
up?
gave him the momentum
Yeah,
for the rest
that,
of the
that's
Yeah,
how I
you
figured.
Yeah.
You can see the people we bet on.
Michael Kelch is from Smogon. Yeah, he's the world's best Rambats player. He's on the Rambats council.
Oh no, Moxie boosted, lost his first
Moxie
round.
boosted, lost game 1. No.
Aaron Zhang won game 1.
Even though you got away from your ghost typing. with
Aaron
the Terra
Cybertron
Someone has
Zhang
Zachary-
here.
still wasn't
Someone has Zachary
able to
Thornburg,
be
right?
enough of a
I don't think
stop
anyone picked Zach Thornburg.
Shadow
Oh, well,
Rider
he won his
Calyrex.
first game.
I mean, this is why we've seen Terra Fairy be so dominant. Sometimes we end up seeing it a little bit more with something like a Focus Sash, but Covert Cloak, the perfect adjustment and adaptation to have in this
Let's
mirror.
see.
Wait,
Colin Beers at Worlds? I've played him like twice.
Did you beat him?
Both times.
Nice.
Constantly bringing the Amoonguss to provide that redirectional support, so the draining kits really wasn't an option. Once you actually got those calm mind
Looking
boosts
for
up,
other
particularly
names
when
that
you
I
got
Wolfie
those
won,
stackers
Lorsy
as well,
won.
that's where
Oh,
the
Aaron
actual
Trailer
rush
won?
was
That's
able to
great
pick
for
up,
me.
particularly in game 2, I felt.
Well, what a fantastic match we had to kick off our
Sage
day
and
number
Park
one
won?
of
I'm
the video
literally
game
goated
here at
right
the
now?
2024
Oh, yeah, I'm
Championship.
scrolling. I'm a little bit
We
behind you
have
on the
our
scroll.
winner of that match, Adam
Not table 201 Nicholas.
Oh, who had Carson Comfort and who had
much,
Luca Tregu?
Rosemary. I'm here
I
Because they
have
played each
Luca.
other.
Oh, damn.
Luca
Yeah, I had
lost.
Luca. I
Round
lost.
one of the World Championship.
Brandon Zhang won.
How do you
Babytron.
I'm feeling very great.
Uh,
The world champion.
I don't know who Moxie Boosted is, but I'm headcaning him as Moxie the Cat. Moxie Boosted is a VGC YouTuber.
It was
His real name is Marcos Perez.
I do the job.
He's like about the same level of player that we are.
How did you prepare?
Correct. He's just
he's at
more
Worlds?
famous.
Yeah, he's at Worlds. Yeah.
My prep was
Dang.
not very long.
He goes to
He
so
goes
much
to a lot of events. I think he's only day 2'd one time, so he's like around the same level as we are.
Let's go, Naoto Mizubushi! I picked the right people for round 1, let me tell you.
Matt, you gotta update. You gotta get a spreadsheet, and you gotta update it live with all of the Swiss rankings. I know for a fact your ass is not doing work right now at work.
Yeah, fucking 5 on a Friday? Hell no.
Whoever has Justin Burns, he did pretty good. He won.
It was a really cool team, and I
Judy
loved
Azzarelli won?
Game 3.
Wait, have you seen Rajan?
The Roaring Moon.
I have not
See
seen Rajan Ball yet.
As your win condition.
Not in a
What was
rude
your
way or anything, but how did he make
strategy
worlds? You
preparing
can make
for that
worlds if you
very
go to a bunch of
difficult game
events.
number 3?
If you go 5 and 4 or 6 and 3 at like a shit ton of events, you just make worlds.
So my sport immunity is not very big. I just have a real boom.
Because you get like points. Like I have points, and I've never made day 2. So if you just do that a bunch of times, you'll make worlds. You can also get them from locals. You can get them from locals, and you can get them from the online events too. So if you just like play a lot, you would be able to get to worlds. They're changing it how it works though, so you're not gonna be able to do that as much. Dawabafet won, nice. Smorgon 22 alum Kean Campbell won, nice.
He won really early.
Yeah. What place did Slushy get in? I have to check. Where's the spreadsheet? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let me check the spreadsheet. I want to see what place he got.
Can I do it in French?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm bouncing. Have fun.
See you.
Alright, I do also have to bounce with him because I did promise I would play a game with him and Chase.
Oh, damn. Alright. That's all good.
And I stalled for long enough that they're gonna stall for long enough that Matt and Kyle show up.
Based. Alright, sounds good, Cam. Thank you for hanging.
Alright. Adios.
See ya. Let's see. Slushy got
Thank you so much and
1, 2, 3, 4.
Best of luck in the
Was
rest
the
of the
5th boot. He got 20th
Trainers,
place.
We'll be back after a short break.
Rest in peace. The employed fellas are on their way. Real. It's okay. We don't got time for another. We don't have. We got time before they do another game anyway. I'm looking through. Who else do we got here? If I don't see Rajan, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna control F him.
Learn a bit more about our host for the Pokemon World Championships, Anna Prosser. So Anna, I'm gonna ask you some questions. I need some quick answers.
All right, we're getting to
First
the
thing
point
that
where I
comes
don't
to
recognize
mind.
any of these people.
We're gonna try to do it in under a minute. Okay. Are you ready?
Oh, Hirofumi. I think Cam has
All right,
Hirofumi,
here we
right?
go. Describe yourself in one word.
I heard someone already said silly, so I will say earnest.
Okay, good one. Name your
I would
favorite
say
Pokemon.
silly.
Eevee.
What was the first Pokemon World Championships you attended?
How did Kylan do? Also, I haven't seen Kylan
San
yet.
Francisco.
Oh.
Kylan's very
Name
nice.
your
I played
favorite
them.
color.
Green.
It's a good one. That's mine too. What's your favorite Pokemon plushie that you own?
Colin Hire one? Oh,
Well,
Knox
it's really hard.
one?
I think it's,
Okay.
I have a sleeping
Shout out
Eevee in
Justin
there.
Knox, my Twitter moot.
Okay, that is cute. Name your favorite Pokemon gym leader.
I'll be basic and say Misty. We gotta love a red.
You can't say Misty there.
Name your favorite Pokemon region.
Alola.
Hisui.
Ooh,
Not a
fun.
bad region.
All right, and I'm going to throw you a curveball for the last one. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Pause.
No pressure. But what's your favorite game to watch at Worlds? VG, TCG, Go, or Unite?
Unite. 100%
okay.
Unite.
My favorite game to play.
Unite. It's not even a question.
All right.
Yeah, it's not even a
Unite
question.
fans.
Unite is
The
hype.
Unite casters are right there.
Unite
we're
is the
celebrating
hypest
right now.
game to
All right,
watch, and it's not
thank you
even
so much,
close.
Anna, for your time. Be sure to catch Anna as the host for the weekend, and stay tuned, everybody, for more Pokemon World Championships action.
What would I say my favorite gym leader is? That's crazy. You can't do that after he lost. No, you can't put up the Shohei. You can't, guys. Listen, listen. You can't do. Putting this on immediately after he loses round 1 is insane. If you are a live broadcast, like you're like the live director in the control room, and this is scheduled for right now, you say no. You say we can that. We switch it with a different video. We play this later. Like you would call an audible. Come on. Who are the Smogon players in VGC? I mean, I'm not super in tune with Smogon. I just know Michael Kelch is big Smogon. Leonard Kraft III is Dawabafet, if you are familiar. Is Sempra playing at Worlds this year? Sempra was at Worlds last year. I don't know if Sempra's playing this year. Noodle is, you know Noodle is at Worlds this year. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Nat Noodle's at Worlds.
North American
Here, I'm gonna look up Rajan.
Had arrived in New Orleans.
Rajan lost? No.
Players followed, vying for that coveted trophy.
You can't do that. You can't tell me Rajan lost. This is so sad.
In the 2 weeks prior, and its cool counterpart, Ice Rider, was never far behind. So the pressure was on
maybe
to find a way to topple the Jockey King from
maybe Noodle isn't playing.
In the final of the Juniors
I don't think that is I don't think that is playing because they're not here.
Despite the mega charge
So
from Miraidon, Kevin's team was still able to use Trick Room and flip the matchup on its head, taking the win in a convincing 2-0.
And with this Glacial Lance, it continues the avalanche of success for Kevin Hahn this season.
did I lose any money yet? No. The only thing I'm pretty sure the only way I lose money is if I'll lose $5 if someone other than my guys that I drafted
with Calyrex Ice Rider piled on the pressure
win.
Alongside Urshifu. However, Joshua Robinson utilized his Calyrex Shadow Rider to weather the blizzard, stall out Trick Room, and take a multitude of KOs with powerful Astral Barrages.
So the Calyrex, with this Astral Barrage, able to move before this Urshifu, is able to secure a double knockout, and that's the game, Josh! The honor, the glory, the redemption is his as he takes this game and becomes your Senior Division 2024 North America International Champion!
And in the Masters Division, we had French player Aurélien Soula, an incredibly strong player with countless top cuts in large events, and their opponent, Patrick Connors from Florida.
It was really fun. Listen, Aurelian's a fantastic player. It was so funny watching this random dude come and win.
Patrick took game 1, but Aurelion took game 2. And in the final game, Patrick was able to position Pelipper to lock down Aurelian's Terrapagos with Wide Guard and sweep with Glacial Lance of the Calyrex Ice Rider.
The support of his local community, able to power through the paralysis and with a critical hit.
Yeah, that was an insane final. Oh, I didn't see you asked who is Nat. Nat is Nat's a pretty high up there. Well, I think they retired from singles, but was a really big SPL player on Smogon. Played in the Northeast Division. I don't know if she was like the best player on the Northeast team, but was pretty dang good. I roomed with her at a couple events. We roomed with each other at Orlando and at whatever, Indy. That was the other one. This is a cute little animation. I like this. Piplup step for real. Do you get one brought Palafin? If someone brought Palafin, I will Venmo them $5 right now.
Aloha! Aloha, Pokemon trainers. Day one of the 2024
Is that my Pookie
Pokemon
Joe
World
Brown?
Championships are officially underway here in Honolulu, Hawaii. We have over 3,000 competitors across all of the competitive Pokemon games this weekend. It is surely going to be
There he is.
to remember.
These two are goated, by the way.
But my absolute pleasure to be joined by the Scott Glaza here in the lounge.
These two are goated casters.
For our round 2 matchup. But Scott, in that round 1, I mean, it can't start any better. We had Shohei, the reigning world champion, losing to Adam there. That's a really big victory for Adam to start his day with a W over a world champ.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I mean, I feel like that mirror is just so important to play if you're going to play the Shadow.
How many points did Nat get? I have no idea.
Several times, and that first game I was kind of wondering, is he like
Nat day 2'd like fucking 5 tournaments in a row. So I assume that, and he was telling me about plans to go to Worlds, so I assume that if not competing, at least like Nat's like there.
Start and best of luck to Adam throughout the rest of the weekend. Who knows? Maybe he'll be the next world champion. But speaking of world champions, we have a fun little segment prepared for anyone who doesn't know. If you're just joining the Pokemon community, you haven't been around, this is actually the 10th anniversary of the 2014 World Championships. The kind of the follow me herd round the world, where Seijun Park won the World Championships with his trusty Pachirisu, kind of arguably the most influential moment in competitive Pokemon history.
Yeah, it was certainly, I think, the most talked about.
The call
VGC
for
matchup.
Worlds.
Yeah, for certainly within VGC. So we have this segment we're going to run all weekend, or as we're between rounds, talking about how trainers make the call for the World Championships. And if you've been in this scene, you see it all the time for every event. Oh, what's the call for EUSC? What's the call for Sacramento Regionals? What's the call for Worlds? And really, this is something that that Seijun perfected in 2014, because the ultimate call, the ultimate meta play was that Pachirisu.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat too. Or I think people kind of just remember it for being like cute and a quirky pick, but like it really was a fun matchup with the metagame. I actually thought both he and his finals opponent had sort of interesting answers to Amoonguss in particular. Right? They're both kind of abusing Amoonguss being so popular in that format in different ways. Where like the Rotom Mo that Jody uses kind of more directly influencing that, and kind of just like being able to attack through Amoonguss in a way other Pokemon couldn't. Pachirisu, I think, was kind of abusing how other people are preparing for the format, right? Like, well, redirection's annoying, but that
Do I think you could go to Worlds with no knowledge of comp? No.
All the redirection
Respectfully, no.
And then suddenly, like, oh no, that doesn't work, right? Like electric type Pokemon, like basically have the reverse type.
You do have to play at least like kind of well.
So people's foolproof
If you can get there by like grinding and going to a bunch of regionals.
One of the other things is,
you know, you could like spend a year traveling the world,
on 2014 Worlds and
going to like all these different tournaments and stuff. But you still have to, at the very least, like go 5 and 4.
The metagame at the time,
Yeah, you have to at least win more games than you lose.
Kind of the Amoonguss answer. That's an electric type, right? And a lot of times, the Seijun didn't want to just. He had troubles in
Sounds good, Kyle.
Zapdos, so by having Follow Me instead of Rage Powder, like you're talking about on the on the Pachirisu, it essentially gave him an Amoonguss.
Also, I can look up Noodle's thing. I didn't want to give out. I don't want to dox Noodle live on stream, but I can go look it up.
On the last game, where like kind of both players choosing to play the most common archetype and just kind of like tweak the way they built their teams in order to come out on top of the mirror. I think in 2014, the best teams kind of went another direction with it, right? Where I'm just not going to play that game at all. I'm going to bring some stuff that no one's prepared for, and I'm going to take advantage of knowing that, you know, the top compositions are pretty predictable.
Yeah, and then one of my other favorite parts of the Seijun lore that's come out, especially, you know, we made the championship history video last season that everybody has enjoyed, is well, actually, it's not a Pachirisu team, it's a Mega Gyarados team, right? And now you see so many people talking like that because we talked in the in that video that Seijun didn't start with Pachirisu and then filled in 5 of the slots. He decided, well, I need an answer for Mega Kangaskhan, I need an answer for all these really strong physical attackers, and Gyarados has Intimidate to lower those attacks from the threats on the other side, but then when you can have it set up with Dragon Dance, it can really sweep through the other team. So I think that's one of the fun things that we've learned over the years, where back in the day, oh, it's a Pachirisu team, it's a Pachirisu team. Like, no, it was actually a Mega Gyarados team that Pachirisu kind of filled that gap that was helping it against those that electric weakness that Gyarados has.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of super cool to keep in mind too, where like Mega Mega Gyarados wasn't really a thing. I mean, it certainly wasn't unheard of, right? But when people are preparing for the tournament, Gyarados is pretty low on the threat.
It is kind of like a different language, I realize, when we talk about all the different things about Pokemon. It really does. It really is like speaking a second language for real.
Slide that we always have. I think it's just a great example of like, okay, well, I have specific problems because I'm running a comp that's a little bit different than what everyone else is, which require different answers, right? And he didn't just slap on the most common Pokemon available because it was strong, and instead he found the right grouping of qualities that made his strategy work.
Yeah, there's even so many moments when
Did
you
they
go back
finish
and watch,
the
especially his top 8 match and his finals match against Jody.
Are there still games playing?
Felt like the world was coming together, the storyline was coming together. You think about his Talonflame getting frozen solid, and if he just had Flare
Looks
Blitz,
like
it
every
wouldn't be a
game is
problem,
finished.
but not every fire move has the capability of automatically thawing. And Overheat was the fire move that he had on there, so it's kind of a mixed Talonflame set. Another interesting decision that
every game finished, so they should have
and
round
you
2
only
up
have a
soon.
20% chance of thawing when you use an attack. So think about how different the world is if that.
Oh, I guess I can show only incomplete. Oh, there is one game still going.
Another thing that kind of means just like a fun memory of that.
We got Big Stall versus Big Stall going on right now. That's why they're stalling.
Like was on the floor, and remember Evan and I walking around like, oh, let's check this out. Like it's such a cool team. Let's see how it's doing. And he earthquaked his own Pachirisu with the Gyarados, and it survived with like only a couple of hit points. I think we found out later that it wasn't guaranteed to survive, and he kind of just knew in his heart that his Pokemon were going to pull through. And I think that's why he was such a fun player, right? Where he just, like,
I'm gonna claim that.
take that sort of risk.
I'm gonna claim that
and,
Sylveon.
I was
see what it
watching
is.
his matches.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of not guaranteed,
Let's claim.
People have run the calculations, and people actually say there was a pretty solid chance that Gardevoir should have been knocked out from Mega Lucario's Bullet Punch, and it actually went in Seiju's favor. So again, all of these minor differences of a damage
Will be the
roll
next
here,
Pachirisu
or maybe a
Togedemaru?
thaw instead, or not thawing instead of
Great
actually
question.
thawing. Like,
I guess it depends on what you're asking. Is it who's going to be the next like random redirector, or who's going to be the next like Pokemon that seems bad that's actually pretty good? Because I guess like Clefairy is probably the.
Yeah, I think that's one thing.
But that thing's like actually meta. That's not like an off-meta pick. Clefairy is just like genuinely great.
We will see a lot of games probably over the course this weekend where both trainers are using similar Pokemon. Those incremental advantages matter so much, right? Where either getting the lucky roll or just not trading poorly when you can avoid it. I'm gonna
redeem this Sylveon. We'll see what it is.
Like taking unnecessary risks that don't.
Next Pokemon that has low stats, I guess Clefairy.
Part of why he did so well, cut Worlds several years in a row is because he's good at making.
But like Clefairy is probably on. I would say at least 15% of teams at Worlds.
If they too want to become world champion.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. You mentioned how he was just so consistent. It wasn't like Seijun comes out of nowhere with Pachirisu.
I believe that the code is Sleep Talk Worlds. Am I wrong?
World championships at that point.
Look up Cerebi.net right now.
In the finals, you say he's arguably
Sleep Talk Worlds,
the greatest player who's never won Worlds because Ray Rizzo was a little busy, taking the Worlds from everybody back in that era. But if you think about in that time, do you wonder if you could go all the information, all the resources we have available now, and how large our community is? Do you ever wish you could go back in a time machine and see all the resources we have available now and apply it to those formats? Or do you like the
I don't know if we're gonna get there.
The surprises that were held at all those events?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it to me is like, I don't think it's even just like the gathering of information, right? But it's just a decade plus now of Pokemon knowledge, right? Where I think we have so many more past world championships to look at. And I think this tournament's different from any other, right? People will save some of their best stuff for it, but also like.
All right, I got the Sylveon.
People are just trying to do well, right?
Let's see what it is.
They want to continue their season, maybe get some prize money, get enough champion points to qualify for the world championships. Once you get here, it's about winning the tournament, right? And I think the teams
it's Terra Fire, Choice Specs, Sylveon, Beats of Ruin. No, it's Hyper Voice, Terra Blast, Hyper Beam, Sleep Talk, Pixelate.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the other interesting, we could literally go on forever, Scott.
Interesting. That's an interesting Pokemon.
Obviously, I'm one of those Seijun.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll gladly accept this. And a Cherish Ball.
Knew about U.S. Nationals that year, and I was kind of trying to get into
Sleep Talk. Yeah, you often
come Tuesday.
Come
Tuesday.
I love that idea.
I love that idea.
I'm going to be a Pokemon player. I'm going to become a part of my local community and play my locals, play a regional.
This guy's here.
And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people.
But yeah, no, Selena, you run like Tatsugiri's will run Sleep Talk and not any other move all the time.
Starting in 2014 with Seijun Pachirisu.
And so does Terapagoses that are specs. Like a lot of specs mons will use it just in case they get put to sleep. Like you can then switch in on a sleep move, and you still can use a move.
Besides maybe your
all
back
specs.
hurting a little bit more than it used to back then. How do you feel about how the last 10 years of competitive Pokemon have went?
I mean, I think it's pretty cool, right? I mean, we were joking in the pre-show that the whole VG area could probably fit about 20 times into this building compared to the size it was in those days. And I think Seijun's team probably no small part in the
How's it going, gang?
the tournament series back then, right? Where I think a lot
Did you
of
see
that
that man lost, and then they put up his package after?
Whether you think it's because it was his
No, I didn't see they put his package.
They put up his I Won Worlds package immediately. I was like, if I'm a live broadcaster, I'm vetoing that.
Yeah.
If I'm the director, I say nope, nope, no. Run that in 15 minutes, like not right now.
Yeah, no. I mean, just immediately the dude loses round 1 on stream after he won last year is crazy.
It's kind of like a situation where you have 5.
Anything can happen in professional Pokemon.
And then
Yeah.
you just throw I don't know.
No, and I mean, he just once that horse got some calm minds up, he just did not have a way through it.
Yeah, and like,
yes, sir.
Especially if Quaxley could actually contribute, right? So I think that's the fun of Pachirisu, right? Is it's deceptive.
Are round 2 pairings up? Let me see.
Especially where electric
round 2 pairings are up.
There really isn't a way to break that if you have an electric type Pokemon using single target attacks, right? It just kind of like stays
Let's
there
see.
being
Is there any
annoying
crazy
forever.
matchups?
And I love Pokemon like that, right? Where like
Here, I
they're not
can
at a power
share
level,
my
they're
screen
gonna
so that
be
you don't have to wait
super
for the
high
delay.
usage, but like they're really good at their niche.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of an excellent Pokemon to have around, I think, in any format.
See if you see any cool matchups. I'm scrolling through round 2 pairings. Oh, Yuki! Shout out Yuki won round 1. I should have drafted Yuki.
Justin Knox won round 1.
He did.
In the first ever Mega
Aurelian
Evolution World
Solo
Championships that year when it
round
dominated
1.
everything. No Mega Mawile in the finals as well. Like for anyone watching now, that's basically like if Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Urshifu didn't make World
Jesus
Finals.
lover Brady Smith won round 1.
Maybe more specifically this format, it's like
he
either Calyrex or Miraidon made it.
Right.
And
I don't see any crazy
Capo.
matchups. At least none that I would like recognize immediately.
We've seen sometimes in formats like
I don't know
this
if you
one
see
where,
anything.
I think the Mega
I'm
Pokemon
looking.
and the restricted Pokemon this year kind of have a pretty similar spot in teams, and there's
We'll get
2015
Limber
instead
in a
where,
second.
you
Hell
didn't
yeah.
have Kangaskhan, you had a problem. Where in 2014, I mean the favorites didn't win, right? Everyone game planned against them.
Wolfie
and,
is playing a
the teams that
Japanese
made it
player.
before this had really interesting solutions to exploit the fact they knew they were going to be playing against these Pokemon every round. And I mean, do you try to win the mirror using similar stuff the way we saw in 2015?
Scrolling through this list, I'm seeing so many different people that have beaten me.
A wild out of the box solution, I think. As we've glanced through teams, I think more people have opted away from using kind of like the big.
Like, I'm not that far down this list, and I've already seen 2 of them.
Expected, so I think either path could win out this weekend.
Yeah, and what was your playstyle as a player back in the day when you're team building with your friends? You talk about.
Oh my God, there's so many tables, by the way.
Cons, right?
There's so
These
many.
Pokemon that are 40% usage, they're at that rate.
Oh, Zhejiang lost round 1, by the way. Didn't you draft him?
If you're not
Who did?
using them, you better have a pretty good reason not to.
I don't think I drafted him.
I know 40% of the field's going to have a Rillaboom on the team, so I'm going to counter team that Rillaboom. Like, what was your play style?
I mean, I was a boring player, right? So
Okay,
I
gotta do a toe touch.
Whatever, I'll see you in turn 30.
Toe touch gaming, baby.
But I mean, I think that it kind of depends on the year, right? Because I think both paths can work, and I think some of it is like what you're good at as a player, right? Where if you want to play a little higher tempo sort of style, then I think it usually works better to use some things that were unexpected. I think even at 2014, right? I think you kind of mentioned before.
Do I think I could teach a class in competitive VGC? Absolutely.
I think we learned at the World Championships that probably the actual
Big matchup I'm seeing is Eduardo Cunha against Michael Arand.
Ooh. Throw that one on stream, baby.
And Justin Burns plays Grant Weldon.
I think that's another
nice.
fun
Did you see that they're streaming every top 8 match now?
Oh, that's good.
And you really need to kind of be on top
That's a
of
good
what's being
change.
used
Yeah.
the most. This tournament playing out now and the tournament playing out 3 weeks from now, even with the same rules, could be really different. So it'll be cool to see what players make the right call and what that right call winds up being.
Yeah, that's a great point about the Goth Maw combo as Gothitelle and
Arash Amadi's
I remember
playing it,
those were my first
and,
year
he won us
challenges
round
after
1
Worlds. My
and
first couple
realized he
regionals
was
were just
here.
dominated by Gothitelle and Mega Mawile. I think I think
That's
Aaron
another
Zhang
world
won a
champ that we
regional
didn't
with
draft.
Slide Mega Mawile at one point too. So I think the floodgates
Kevin
kind of just
Swastek, I think,
opened
is the dude that beat me at a
after, World
local as
Championships in
1-0.
2014, and I think it's always fun to see how the World Championships.
Aaron Zhang is
the
playing
future,
Seijun Park.
Oh, they gotta put that on stream.
Please put that on stream.
That's the
Holy
stream
shit.
match. Oh my god, I'm begging.
Please let me watch that
Back in the day,
match.
for those who didn't know, we used to continue out on like pretty much a full season, right? Of we didn't have these rotating rule sets. Like you had to play the same format for a year, so you actually had a pre-Worlds metagame and a post-Worlds and a post-US Nats metagame. Like even though all the same Pokemon were legal, the metagames felt different.
Yeah, I mean, I think back then too. I mean, that one is kind of an era. I think to your point, people playing less caused the meta to develop a little differently. But yeah, I mean, I think the weirdest example was like 2012 and 2013, right, where nothing really changed other than Black 2 White 2 coming out. We introduced the
Paz won. Conkeldonk won.
But other than that, it was like some move tutors, and otherwise we basically played the same format for 2 years. I think some hidden abilities came out, where like I think Kinkelder's hidden ability came out like around Japan Nationals in 2012, and that was a huge swing. And, like,
There he is.
Nowadays, right?
There he
Kinkelder,
is.
it's been a long time since even felt like
Did
a
you see
viable
the pairing that hopefully is round 2 on stream?
That's some of the fun of
No, I did not. I haven't seen
It is
yet.
Aaron Cybertron Zhang versus Seijun Park potentially.
Oh,
They are matched, and there is no other matchup that could be on stream.
I mean, there are, but like
No.
that's the one I want to watch.
That's the one
That's a
everyone
really
wants to
good
watch.
one.
They should
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, sometimes things will fall the wayside of the more
Aaron
importantly,
Cybertron
how's
Zhang
Wolfie
here.
better Pokemon that have come out in the last decade, and then other times
Gonna play
Among Us
round
is
2 of
still
the
most
Pokemon
annoying
World
threat that you always
Championships
have
and
to
provide
account
live
for,
commentary as I
no matter
go.
what year the calendar is in, it's like that. So do you how do you feel about some of those these legacy Pokemon? You think about Amoonguss is always good, Incineroar is always good. For a long time Cresselia was a very strong Pokemon. How do you compare them to some of the newer threats like Urshifu and the Ogerpon forms?
But really,
how do they
how is
stack
Wolfie
up
doing?
in your mind?
How is
I think what
Wolfie
we learned
doing?
is that support Pokemon scale
Everyone wants to know.
Trailers
than
1-0.
Pokemon do, right? Where like there's more of like a this
Justin
sort of power
Tang
creep
is
that we see
1-0.
in video games seems to happen with the
I don't know if I
demon
want to
types,
keep
right?
the chat
Oh,
on or
you know
not.
you know another great stream match, Frizzy? Chuppa and Judy. Chuppa and Judy drew
Oh,
each other.
Chuppa and Judy are playing? Damn.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chuppa
that's
and
for
Judy
sure.
drew each other.
That's for sure the matchup
Every
then.
time they're around,
No,
they're gonna be good.
No, I still want to see Aaron Zhang Seijun Park.
Aaron Zhang has Nepo baby. He's a caster. They're gonna put him on stream.
And Seijun Park, he's
I feel like
They
the
just did a
Pachirisu
segment
guy,
on
and he's using Pachirisu again.
Is
He's
he?
using it? Oh, no
Yeah.
way. No way.
Yeah, he's playing Miraidon Pachirisu.
Oh my god.
Both absorb Pachirisu. Let's go.
And they just did a whole segment about the 10-year anniversary of Pachirisu.
It's the support slots that I feel like people can be a little bit
That has to
more
be the
creative
swing
with
match.
maybe, and people just fall back on the most common options some because they do almost always
Aaron
work.
Brock's
But,
playing James
I think even in this
Evans.
tournament, I was taking a peek around the field a little bit, and there's a few.
Yeah,
I
when
did
I
not
look-
see Wolfie in the
you know,
1-0
that
section.
makes
Wolfie
it
might have lost
connections. So,
1.
yeah, I'm excited to see if those work out, or maybe.
Oh no, he did win round 1. I missed it
Okay,
earlier.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
I gotta look because I think one of my Japanese players I could not find earlier, so I gotta try and find
Just
him.
like no matter what the format is, you can get value out of like Gothitelle, like Clefairy as well, and the Amoonguss that you talked about, and I think it's almost like a linchpin in team building where sure,
Shoes on my
Miraidon
feet, they
will go
fire
through
too,
if
I
it's
call
legal
them
or not,
blaze
and
kicks.
Urshifu, you have to wait for certain DLC for Raging Bolt to come out and all these things, but you know that some of your cores there, like Rillaboom or Amoonguss or Clefairy, or those things are always kind of available to you,
Sorry,
either
Snips.
being because their stats they allow
Yo,
them,
what's
they're
Snips up to
usually
right now?
in regional format decks like
She's
Gar-
big
say
chillin'.
Garchomp or
Yeah.
Arcanine, they're usually always available.
I got
in the
Moxie
game,
into
and they
lap
let
at
you
the
give
moment.
more,
Let's go.
skill to
Yeah,
those
he was
particular Pokemon
screaming
that
at me
I remember
earlier,
when I
so
used, Arcanine in
Yeah.
2017.
that man wants
I can
attention
bring
so
it back
bad.
in,
He's been so mad that I've been sick and unable to give him attention.
Better with it now.
Yeah, I think it's a great point.
Dang.
But unfortunately, I like breathing.
Like nowadays, it feels like it's often the Incineroar,
Understandable.
Rillaboom,
Yeah, Stips has been quite attention hungry
People have just
lately.
played so many games with this, right? Where even if it turns out like maybe another core could be a little bit better,
But it's not her
really
fault,
tough
though.
to
She
make that
deserves it.
swap. If you've played 2,000 games with these Pokemon, you're just a little more comfortable, right? You don't have to think so much during the game. It gets a lot easier on team preview, or you're just kind of used to having your Pokemon like, okay, well, I know how much damage I'm going to do to pretty much everything on the opposing side of the field. Like I know what lead combinations I can't do. I think even after round 1, I was kind of reading the social media a little bit, and a lot of people are kind of kicking themselves who lost round 1. It's like, okay, well, I know my team could have had this one, but I just wasn't as comfortable as I needed to be. I didn't play the matchup the way I was supposed to. And I think, if you're playing comfort like that, whether it be someone like Seijin playing Pachirisu or someone.
So here's the thing.
These more balanced cores for so many games.
Round 7, I drafted Kentaro Matsumoto.
Uh-huh.
I cannot find him on the list.
Uh-oh.
That's tough.
Uh-oh. That man missed his flight.
That man missed his flight.
The most exciting of all the championship Sundays we brought.
Yeah, I do not see Matsumoto on the list.
Huh.
That's tough. That's
yeah,
tough.
he probably just didn't go.
He probably just didn't go.
Yeah, that's one where I was looking at it as we were drafting yesterday. I was like, I hope if somebody takes Justin Karras, I have to tell him that I'm pretty sure he's not playing.
Yeah.
I am here with my co-caster for the event, Lou, Josh Chromie, and we're going to get
So
to know
I
you a little bit
have-
for this one. So
That's the only one up.
I have Lexicon and Zomog that lost round 1. Shohei Kimura lost round 1.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I think you might have been driving home, Matt, but I said you gotta keep a spreadsheet updated with all of our picks and their win loss.
This one, but just
Yeah,
in case.
Z also lost round 1. So I'm
I couldn't
batting
tell. I'm glad you
500,
said something.
which is not great.
I believe Luca lost round 1 for me. Rajan lost round 1. Nils lost round 1. So I'm not doing great either.
I'm 7-0 outside of the guy who didn't show up.
This fucking guy. I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Smeargle ruined my life.
I mean, most of my team had a bye.
Although Luca played someone
Which
real
is
good.
crazy, but-
I think he rolled round 1.
Just like my
A pretty good player, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I want to look at who the ones I had that lost to.
Oh, that's a tough one. I have to go with Pokemon X. I know it's a bit controversial, but it was my favorite game that it brought me right back into the franchise, so I love it.
Are you Xerneas fan?
Where's that list that Matt sent? Oh, here it is.
I'm gonna judge a little actually for that one. Favorite Pokemon plushie you own?
It's a tough one, Rosemary. It's a really, really tough one. I don't think anyone sees this coming. It's Gastrodon.
It is always Gastrodon. Where there's a Gastrodon,
That's
there's a way.
Gastrodon's strongest soldier right there.
Who will win Worlds this year?
Is it the judge that always wears the Gastrodons?
No, it's Lou the caster.
Whether they want it Masters Divisions or Seniors, it'll be someone getting the double this year.
It
I
is
should
the
probably
year
tap back
this
into
year.
the stream here. I'm trying to figure out what happened to my guy.
Pokemon VG player of all time.
Wolfie Glick, hands down.
Easy.
He's won one of everything.
Easy. You
International,
didn't even
World,
hesitate. That's how you know.
National, regional, he's won it all.
Well, thank you so much, Lou.
So Michael Kelch won for you, Prizzy.
Yes. Dewabafet won for me.
Anyway.
Chuppa won. Alex Gomez won.
Gomez won. I think Rajan lost.
Kean Campbell won as well.
Portion of the Pokemon World Championships. Sierra Dawn and Lee Provost here, so honored to be here. This has been such an
did
amazing
Rajan
event so
actually
far. We
lose?
kicked off
Rajan
with
lost, yeah.
amazing match number 1. I can't be more bummed.
I'm pretty sure. I control F his name, and I believe he lost.
Yeah. Luca, I don't know if Luca won.
And you know what an
Luca
incredible
lost.
way, with the Shadow Rider Calyrex kind of
Luca
going up
did
against each
lose.
other, and Adam coming out on top from that one.
Still on
Unexpected a
downtime.
little
Get
bit
used to
because
it.
going
They
up against
they
the
take it like an hour in
previous
between
world
matches.
champion in an incredible way. Like I said, to kick us off, and
We're gonna be here a while.
Just beginning, Sierra.
What are the odds we're gonna allow me to swap out my round 7 pick? Considering he did not show up.
Make sure you tune into every single.
Well, you can't do that now that we already round 1 is done. You can just pick someone who has a win.
Can I take an 0-1? Can I take an? I'll take an 0-1. How
I'll
about
let you
that?
take an 0-1. Actually, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm
You
down.
can take an 0-1.
I'm down. You can take an 0-1.
Let me look at the 0-1s here. I'm super down with that.
There's some good 0-1s. for
There's
that.
some good 0-1s.
Talking about,
I'm gonna hold on. Is my boy here? Let me see if my boy's here.
Yeah. If anybody else, do we
Oh, but
know
he
if
won.
anybody else has someone who just didn't show up?
I'm gonna find out as I'm
Yeah.
looking now.
being able to watch.
I don't.
I was
think,
gonna go with my. I was gonna go with my boy Dylan Salvanera, but he actually won round one.
He
so
did
it's not
won round
good.
one. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I also looked it up. I don't think Big Goose is here.
Yeah, and I think one of the things.
But I thought he was going to Worlds, so.
I thought he didn't have enough points.
No, maybe he didn't have enough points.
They're returning to Hawaii.
Because I thought he needed Orlando or like another tournament.
Oh, needed Indy, yeah.
This weekend.
Imagine us showing up to Worlds. People do that. I guarantee he like his flight got canceled or he missed his flight or something. That's probably what it was. I see people on Twitter all the time talking about how their flight got canceled and they got to fly into the Worlds.
For our next matchup of the day has to be just one of the best ways. I still can't believe this match we get to catch.
Wait, so they're doing it? Yes, they're doing it. Let's go.
100%.
I mean,
let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Wait, is it Aaron Zeg and Sage Park?
It's Aaron Zeg, Sage.
Let's fucking go. Dude.
Let's go.
Also, Kyle went perfect except for the guy that didn't show up.
Yeah, dude. I told you. I went 7-0. I went 7-0. Okay, wait. There's a very big asterisk there because I think 4 or 5 of them had buys.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't matter.
But it is still crazy. And for what it's worth, I did not know there were even buys here. So.
This is match of the day. This is match of the tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the notable ones for myself.
I know Nails lost.
Salvador Torres. I know, I'm looking at who all lost. Did anyone take Nails? Oh, no, yeah, someone did.
Chris has Nails.
Yeah, Chris has Nails. You're right.
Going to see this sort of matchup. You've got Chip across against Judy Alzarelli, who was also the finalist from that 2014 World Championship. So some absolutely amazing games every single round. But I feel like we've gotten.
Yo, this guy's name is Rich Cuddy. I kind of want to take Rich Cuddy.
Jody Sage in that repeat of the 2014 final. We're not gonna lie, we were kind of keeping our fingers crossed, but I think we got just as good a match.
Oh, 100%. Being able to
What's
see Aaron
MY?
compete on this big
Country
stage
is
again,
that?
of course. We saw
MY?
on the cast
Probably
not
Malaysia.
too much, but being
Could be
able to see
Myanmar.
what he's put in and
Could also be Myanmar.
what he's got,
Could
I
be
mean,
that one.
some of the best is definitely
There's a guy whose
Brad,
name is
and I'm really
Kok
glad
Lee
that
Chu.
This is the match that we get to
Comes
have
out with
here.
one.
I know everyone, as soon as parents went up, everyone is clamoring for this one too, so it works out.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to.
Or
to
an
not
guy
say
from
that
Italy,
was
Ivan
gonna be
DeFalco.
It's pretty obvious. I think sometimes when
Who's playing Nick
That's his
DeFalco?
brother Ivan DeFox and Ivan DeWolf.
Yeah.
He's the one playing Nails next round, actually.
Judy's
jump into the
1-0.
actual action and kind of hype up the match. Not that it needs hyping up in any sort of way, shape, or form.
James Evans
really
is 1-0,
interesting
right?
Oh yeah, you
too,
can
when
also
we
get a
look at
free
players
choice
that are ready
spec
to
Sylveon if you put the
teams
code
and
into
stuff,
Scarlet and
is
Violet
I
if you
feel
care.
like, I mean, I already said my first
should probably do
introduction to the video game was watching.
Although I
There
do
was
already
some
have
blind
a.
shirt.
So being able
I
to
do already have a
then
Sylveon
now
with
is amazing.
fully
but
built on
also
there.
for
But it's
a lot
Cherish
of other
Ball.
People, Aaron Zeng
Oh,
being able
never
to
mind.
go through and showcase these battles and stuff, I think is a lot of ways that other people who are maybe
Alex
wanting to
Underhill,
get interested
01.
And it's
into it.
Terrifier.
So this
Yeah,
being, like,
Lexicon
two people
lost.
that it was their first
So
introduction
yeah,
to VGC,
my picks did not
being
pan
able to
out very
witness them,
well.
I think it's just a
Uh-oh.
really
So far, at least so far.
Yeah,
We're showing
I
for
had-
content.
I had Shohei lose, I had Lexicon lose, I had Z lose, and I had Zomog lose.
Do we know if Semper's playing this year?
I haven't seen his name, but
Because I don't think Freezeye is either, right?
From there, we've seen both of them have
I
a
haven't
lot of
seen
success
either one of
since
their
then
names.
in the VG format, and them going up against each other here is a real treat for us at the 2024
Montana
All right.
Championships. I still can't believe it.
Oh wait, that is Zamazenta's strongest
Especially
soldier.
too,
Holy
I
shit.
mean, this is just two great players, great caliber. But what is the coolest thing is the return.
Yep, he's got the
of the
Pachirisu. I need to see the
Pachirisu,
set.
the 10th
This is gonna be a fun
anniversary
I mean,
of
I imagine it's what?
that
Follow me,
moment
Nuzzle,
with all-
Protect,
and to bring
and something else.
Pachirisu out to the World Championships
I would imagine.
once
Something like
again,
that.
in a
Yeah,
very
Follow
different
Me,
era of
Nuzzle.
the video game.
Does it have
Being
Helping
able to
Hand?
all of these big
We'll figure it out.
threats, I think is
I feel like it
really,
probably is
really
Helping
It probably
I think
gets
a
that
really
move.
Cool call going into this as well. That was the thing. Last time Station
We
had
got
the
Grim.
Pachirisu, it was a call into a
Zamazenta
specific
Grim
metagame,
is kind of
and to be able
disgusting.
to see that we're in a spot that's kind of similar for it to work.
Zaza
is
Magenta, for
amazing.
real.
Yeah, I really love the Pachirisu.
Listen, I'm rooting for Sajin because he's got the Pachirisu, but I will be Zamazenta's strongest soldier this this tournament, so I'm rooting for the Zamazenta.
I love Sage Park, truly, but I can't root against Aaron Zeng. That man taught me how to play VGC.
I got that man on my
Does he
team.
have
I can't root
anything
against him.
crazy? Not particularly. This is a very, I mean, Stone Edge Entei is a little weird, but like,
I mean, Terranormal E-Speed Entei
Aaron
should
deciding to
jump out.
bring that one paired out with this Zamazenta.
yeah, but
Zamazenta's been
Stone Edge Gente is weird. That's like the only weird thing on his team.
Being able to take down
Yeah,
regional champions.
I think most people would probably
So
run
this is a
Tantrum in
really
that
cool
slot.
choice
but
Yeah.
and really just strong
Stone
choice
Edge is
overall.
probably
We
for
get the brimstone on
Galii.
the screens as well. Make sure there's
Yeah,
a little bit
probably.
more longevity to your Pokemon.
Yeah, he's
That
got
would
some
make
nice speed
sense.
control option there.
All right, before we get started here, there's another guy in the tournament. His name is.
Other things on the field like
Is
that
it-
Zamazenta.
oh,
That
hold
is
on, that's
fast,
not
but
right.
not quite as fast as some of the other speedier restricted.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he's not running.
Kentaru Seki. I'm gonna take Kentaru Seki. I'm swapping out Kentaru's. Yeah, I'm swapping out
You
Kentaru's. I
traded
don't know who this
Kentaru
guy
for
is.
another Kentaru. I see.
Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna take him because he's 01.
I did
Ease of
also
access.
just realize his Zazazenta is not running Iron Defense.
No, yeah. I mean, most will either run.
Yeah,
White
I
Guard
mean it's
or
a
Iron
trade-off,
Defense.
but I like the Iron Defense sets better.
But you've got the heavy slam, you've got the body press, all boosted by
I do like the
Iron
Iron
and then
Defense set a lot.
ball-string part of the team comes
I think it's
back
just
to
worth
that
it.
Grimmsnarl with those screens.
I mean, you can become just such a huge menace in a format like this.
Ooh, Terra Dragon
in
Zazazenta?
this match to allow those physical threats to do the job
That's
that you need them to
interesting.
do.
For Aaron, this moment has to be absolutely massive.
Grass
10-time
Fluttermane's also
qualifying
like
for
a
the
little
World
weird.
Championships.
Yeah.
First time competing.
I guess the dragon does kind of make sense because there's not like outside of Fluttermane, there's not really a whole lot of fairy presence right now, and the balance is just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, no, because
So being able to resist balance is
I
very
think
nice.
I think the reason I don't like
It was the first regulation
Terra Dragon is because you. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta move my.
Yeah.
It's Super Fang, by the way.
Terra Fairy is kind of what
I gotta move that. You gotta be able to see what the Pachyrisu's running.
Wow, this is doing power. But now going back
It
for
does have helping hand.
defensive
Super
and
Fang help. Okay, it's not
options.
running
You're
Nuzzle.
able to have
That's
that
interesting.
dazzling gleam,
Yeah,
something
no,
that
Nuzzle.
can hit quite
No, I
well
think the
and
reason I
it's not
disagree
blocking that
with
special attack. It's
Dragon
something that can make
Zamazenta
break
is
your
that
way.
you run
Yeah,
Zamazenta
and I
to
think the
hard
one
beat
thing that
Cali
makes it there for
Shadow,
the wide guards
and
potentially
Terra Dragon no
might be
longer hard
account
beats
for
Cali
on
Shadow.
Maradon is the discharge.
I think that's
You can
fair.
see here it's not there. Opting for other options, taking advantage of that fairy terrestrialization with the
Very
dazzling
interesting
gleam.
he didn't like Nuzzle,
Got
but
that
Super
Draco
Fang
meteor that's gonna be
helping
very
him
Low
out.
kick
Protect
Iron
his
Hands
very good.
instead of
Just as
Drain
like
Punch
terrestrializes
is
that
Ooh.
clear.
to that dragon type
Yeah,
What's
low
that
kick,
for?
low
Calorie
kick is
Ice?
only
Fake-
low kick is his
fake out-
only damaging move.
Yeah, only damaging move.
Yeah.
He's got
Whoa.
they got detect low kick. That's so funny.
Wild set.
Interesting.
I mean, everything you want to hit is pretty heavy though.
And he's got hands and Shifu.
And he ended up going with Noise on Farig.
That's
I do
such
like
a
Psychic
wild-
Noise.
That immunity to any sort of stat drops, any intimidate that could come out onto it.
Psychic Noise is very nice for like berries. Not that a lot of people are running those, but like leftovers
Then you
too.
can go for that sword stance, and that thing with
Kyle, if you want an 01 player we've actually heard of, you could go Dollar Web.
I could go Toller Web.
No, but you gotta trade Kintaro for Kintaro. That's funny.
I think I gotta trade Kintaro for Kintaro. I think that is definitely. I agree with Frizzy.
What's this Kintaro's last name?
Seki or Seku? One of the two?
How I spell?
S-E-K.
S-E-K? I?
I think that would just be
Hold on,
Seki
I'll find
then,
it. Yeah,
wouldn't
it's Kentaru Seki.
S-E-K-I?
S-E-K-I. Yeah.
And he was 01.
He was 01.
approach this match. I think if you're looking at Sejun's side, you've got that Chiyu. That's going to be really.
But he's 0-0 on my team.
forcing the
And
Zamazenta
that's what really matters.
To go for that terrestrialization, to go into this dragon type, so it doesn't have that fire weakness. And by doing that,
I was gonna say if not him, I was gonna go with Joe. Wasn't Castagnola? I forget how to say his last name.
That's on my team.
Oh, did you have him? I thought you didn't have him. My bad.
He's trying to take your guy.
Joe Castagnola. Oh, I don't really want him. He's 0-1. But like,
Well, yeah. They're all one on my team. So they are on my team.
Fair enough. I couldn't remember if you drafted. What round did you draft?
It's Z.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there go my Z.
Electro Drift in French is just called Turbo Volt. They really came up with a great name there.
Yeah, Chiyu.
I like it.
It's not Eclair Spectre.
Choice scarf. It will be able to get. It should be able to get one very powerful hit off before being taken down, since it doesn't necessarily have.
Is he sponsored by Hydro Flask?
Power out there.
He's very suspiciously pointing the logo towards the camera.
That is very funny.
I love that we have the ability.
He's like very
honestly,
obviously.
get your bag.
You do need
That's
to
funny.
Get your bag.
being quite known and around in its meta.
Body
but that's
press,
definitely
body
something that
press
in
is
other
big
situations,
splash.
definitely try and get the jump
That's
on your friend
great.
there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even outside of just the extreme speed with that normal Trustalization, if Aaron decides to go down a different route with something like that Sacred Fire, it's going to be hitting a lot of things on stage.
Okay, so most people in our draft only have 1 or 2 people at 01, and I have 4.
So positioning that.
You hate to see that.
They're just throwing for content. It's fine.
Yeah.
Comes out from our side of the field.
This is where Zomog doesn't lose the rest of the weekend,
though,
right?
when we're looking at the team, do you think the Pachirisu is coming to this match? Because with the Terra Fairy and this
If I'm
solo meet,
Sajin Park, I'm
this
bringing
is just like
Pachirisu for the
Murano
fans.
101
I don't even
and
care if it's
but of course,
optimal
now
for
that
this
we're going up against
matchup.
a different restricted and kind of this team of 6. I'm curious if we get
I
to
can
see
I
it,
can
because
put him on the bench the entire rest of my
that
games. The
redirection
one
is
game I'm
still
on stream,
nice.
I'm bringing him.
But where do we land on that?
I mean,
one?
having a support mon that you can sit next to your Miraidon and spam discharge next to is just super nice.
That is true. Also,
Follow me
like
too,
low-key,
Scarlet.
Rocky Helmet kind of messes up Zazazenta.
Worry so much about things like the body press.
I mean, it
coming out
doesn't
or
like it.
The heavy slam, depending on if you go for that Trustalization.
I mean,
it's
you're not
just
gonna want to
really
get
good
hit. You're
until-
not gonna want to get hit by a move, but like it's the chip damage is percentage based, which is very helpful for a tanky Pokemon like Zamazenta because it's Rocky Helmet.
And I think with the Rocky Helmet that it's got as its
That is very
item,
true.
The additional damage
But on top of
you pick
that,
up from
just
Pokemon
having that like
into your
electric
side
type
of the
follow
field,
me too,
into
just
that
into a
Pachirisu,
balance team like
could
this
be
is
quite
super
valuable
helpful.
in being the difference maker between taking something down like the Zamazenta or one of
Especially
these
for the
other big
physical threats with all the Rocky Helmet.
See, they're talking about it. They're talking about the Rocky Helmet chip percentage based on Zamazenta. I'm nice with it.
Why
I know
is
what I'm
Frizzy
doing.
not casting? They should have flown him in.
We're casting it right now, dude.
True.
I went out nice. I trimmed the beard today. I trimmed the beard. I got the Hawaiian shirt on.
I was gonna say you are looking great with the Hawaiian
I
shirt.
have the hair nice and I washed the hair thoroughly.
Especially on the Iron Hands, at least getting that sword stand set up, because if it does get a sword stand set up at the electric trains on the field, it could become quite problematic for Aaron.
That's where at least one of the move choices that Aaron has on that Grimmsnarl, speaking of that Pokemon, is nice, because it's kind of like, okay, if you're having the Grimmsnarls, we want to see the screens, right? You kind of need those. We get to see an attacking move.
What was
But
his
then that force
Grimmsnarl's
block can be
moves
kind of up
again?
in the air, whether it's something like
Dual
a Thunder Wave, you get that
strings,
paralysis,
taunt,
you get a little bit of speed control
and
that way,
T-Way? I don't
No
remember.
attacks?
what
it built it out, is this taunt. Being able to shut down something like
No.
follow me, that redirection.
Did it have like
that
Spirit
Source
Break
Sand.
at least?
Sure that
It might have had
really
Spirit
start
Break
getting
over
ball
T-Wave.
rolling in that way. So I feel like there
I might
is
be
a
thinking of-
possibility
I was gonna say,
that,
who
like,
is he, you?
Pachirisu, it'd be good to get sort of that redirection.
No,
from the
I
get-go.
put an attacking move on my Grimmsnarl.
You really don't like putting attacking moves on Mons sometimes, though.
I don't. I
That is
very much
criminal
like
about
no
that.
attacking
Okay,
moves.
I'm just going to go for it. Yeah, I'm going to
But
take
I don't know how you
If Matt has a Whimsicott on his team, there's a 75% chance it has no attacking moves.
Yeah, I really like to run no attacking
on
moves.
Aaron's side of the field. Aaron might be in the same
But
mind.
Grimmsnarl has an actual attack stat. I like throwing an attacking move on that.
I mean, Spirit Break is so good too.
Yeah, it's a solid move.
Like the end tier that could come in afterwards to kind of clean up with that Zamazenta or something like the Chen Pao as well.
It is crazy how much that move blast still does though from a Whimsicott. You're still not willing to put it on half the time.
You know that there has to be so
Yeah,
much
now
pressure.
in a world where Chien-Pao exists, I usually put it on. But Gen 8, I love no attack Whimsicott.
I think it makes a lot more sense as Gen 8.
Thank you for the bit, Michael.
Coming on
Appreciate
out.
it.
So I cannot wait to see where their trainers' minds are at, is getting closer to getting into this match.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you can prepare against the restricted, but there's always going to be the unexpected.
Don't spend it all in one place. I'll try my best not to. It's going to be really
A
hard.
little bit of a harder task, of course, but I'm sure Aaron has his lines.
I don't know if you can divide that up and spend it multiple places.
No, I'm going to try.
I think you probably get the feelers out, see how Seju's going to line up, what he's bringing to this match, because there are a lot of problem Pokemon that he has to kind of consider. The Farigiraf is one that you mentioned before with that Armor Tail. You can't really freely utilize those priority attacks when that is either in the back or it's being led. It really puts a question mark about what you're selecting and makes it very difficult to kind of get that momentum swing that you want.
Well,
Did you see the cutouts behind him, by the way? Isn't that crazy? Ogerpon, Fire, and Crustle?
Yeah, Crustle is a crazy pick here.
What the hell is Polar Bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
Aaron Zay against Sajin Park. Out the gate right away, Miraidon restricted. Next to Chi Yu.
Uh-oh.
from Aaron coming out as well. The Zamazenta next to that Rillaboom. Rillaboom hitting the field here is fantastic because right away you're gonna get this opportunity.
This is a great spot to have Terra Dragon.
It really is. It's also a great spot to have fake out pressure against two Pokemon that cannot protect.
I mean, that's a Frig in the back coming right in here.
I know, but still.
Is there a Farigiraf in the back? If you go for that fake out, then the Farigiraf switching
It's
in.
my guy Aaron. I follow him on my other Twitter. Yeah, shout out Aaron Cybertron Zang. Great guy.
Has that ghost Terastallization, so it could commit the Terastallization there to get some.
Yeah, no. That man taught me Pokemon, like, unironically.
Pokemon, so a lot for Aaron to consider here. And it's really one of those turns where Sajin feels like
And now
his
he's
choice Pokemon
playing
out
for
on the
me.
field. He's got a lot more.
He's gonna earn me $5 right
going
here.
into this turn.
Right away,
Who is Sajin?
sticking around for a fake
I assume someone drafted him.
Cam,
I want to say, yeah, Cam drafted him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's me versus Cam on screen.
Okay. Entei comes in. He forgoes the fake out,
and we're going to be eyeing up the
which was the wrong call.
Yeah, because Sajin does. Oh, Sajin Terra Ghost.
He Terra Ghosted, but you could still have faked out the Miraidon there for free.
Yeah.
He didn't
Well,
switch.
But also, yeah, between Farig and Terra Ghost.
I think this Entei's just dead, brother.
The overheat?
Well, Miraidon's gonna attack too. Holy shit!
Oh my
Wow.
God, that wasn't even Specs Chiyu, that's Scarf.
That's crazy.
Every time I think I'm ready for Chiyu's damage, I'm not.
That is
Chiyu
choice
is-
Scarf Chiyu.
Dude, what a fucked
That is
up
a
fish,
resistant
bro.
hit.
What a fucked up fish.
That fish is insane, dude.
That fish is stupid.
I remember there was that local we went to, Matt, and I was playing this guy with my Chiyu. My Chiyu was at -6 because I was spamming overheat, and I hit this guy's Landorus, and it did half of his health, and both of us just were silent. And then we looked at each other and went, "What?"
Yeah, no, I have lost many a set before just on account of going, that's a -2 or a -4 Chiyu. This overheat probably doesn't do that much, and it always does.
It always does.
It always does.
We're going to be pressing the go button on Aaron's side of the field.
All right,
as well
Terra
as
Dragon,
Zamazenta.
Zazazenta is out.
Terra Dragon is always such a cool defensive terastallization, considering against this fire, water, grass core, it's going to be resisted. Does mean that later on you could be susceptible
E-speed to get some damage off before it dies.
Good, and this overheat targeted into is going to be doing negligible damage.
Shout out.
Really nice
Did he Draco it too?
He volt switched.
He volt switched last turn. We know it's a volt switch.
Yeah.
You had a free time doing that. You do see that volt switch into the end.
Still a big kill pickup there, though, honestly.
I mean, I guess it depends on what Zamazenta goes. What did he click on Zamazenta? Was it body press?
He clicked overheat into Zamazenta.
No. What did the Zamazenta do? Or what is he going to do?
Into what was that Miraidon slot?
Most likely body press, I would guess.
I assume body pressing whatever is coming in.
What's the IDs?
Send
No,
out the
he's not running
Pachirisu. Send it. This is a good Pachirisu switch, like actually.
One considering there's something a little bit more on that defensive end. I am still personally hoping.
I assume he doesn't have. He's not sending in a Farig to take a body press. I assume. So he's got. You got to send out Pachirisu.
Could be great.
The Cloud Watcher.
Oh, okay. Well, that's gonna take some damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of damage still.
Yeah,
That's a lot of damage, and you can't really. There's no easy way to get this Zamazenta off the field. And you have fake up pressure. Oh no, you don't. There's a Farig on the field. Never mind. I'm stupid.
He's just positioning these pieces very well.
What the
Neither of these want to sit there and take this overheat.
That is a good question, isn't it? Although it is relatively safe given the
I don't
position
really
of the
think
field.
I care anymore.
Because you have Sash.
With a Draco Meteor, because of now that Dragon Terra typing, you've got to try and get that.
Chimpow's
Chiyu off
faster
the
than
field as well,
Chiyu,
because
also.
Really it's not
Oh no, it's Sash. It's Scarf. My bad.
I almost said the same thing, Brendan, and I had to check.
I had to think about that for a second. Yeah.
For either a knockout onto the Farigiraf with that body press into that slot, or double target down into the Chiyu, expecting maybe something like the Miraidon to come back onto the.
I think high key protect Chimpao and then Behemoth Bash the Chiyu.
Your partner Pokemon is not fun, or even the foul plays, considering
Good old
Aaron
chip.
really only has
It's gonna be
Pokemon
fucked
that
up
are
when that
attack heavy. That's something
GU
that can
switches
be a
out
decent
into
little amount
iron
of damage.
hands.
If you get rid of that Farigiraf,
True. Oh wait,
you do unlock the ability for your
Farig didn't have its electric seed
it's
popped.
something that could start getting
There's no
off
electric
the scales
terrain
a
on the
little bit
field.
later on, especially too if that Chiyu comes in fresh later, having already terrestrialized Ghost type, it would not appreciate a Sucker Punch.
Yeah,
Now it will. I assume that's going to be a Miraidon coming in.
Especially when that Chiyu comes
I think there's Iron
Hands. You're free to
Yo!
Yes, the
Oh,
chosen
there's
one. Oh no, it's dead.
Oh! Oh, God.
Oh
Wait,
no.
does that break Sash?
Oh wait.
Wait, no. Pachirisu did its job. It broke Sash.
It broke Sash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down, so now Station gets a free swap into something else.
Now you send in Miraidon again.
To bring that Chiyu back in.
And then you can discharge to Volt Absorb your Pachirisu back up.
Full special attack back, or you can eye up that Miraidon and just go for some heavy damage, especially now that you've gotten that terrestrialization out of Aaron Zamazenta.
Yeah, we were talking about the Farigiraf going off the field, that Armor Tail going away, and then the Sucker Punch being an option. But the problem is now you've got the Pachirisu with the Follow Me, so you can't really utilize that.
Yeah, you
attack
can't
anymore.
Sucker Punch,
Miraidon
so.
coming back onto the field, gonna set that electric terrain up, and it does pose a big threat to that Zamazenta now with that Draco Meteor because of the Dragon Terror typing. The Chen Power as well, it has had its Focus Sash broken, so not as kind of secure as it would have been normally. Miraidon threatens some big damage onto both of these targets.
Yeah, and this Miraidon, notably, since we are seeing the swap over into something like the Dazzling Gleam.
Is there a world where he swaps in Rillaboom and protects Chen-Pao to get it back to Sash?
So you can't be committing to something like a Dazzling Gleam instead.
Does that give you enough healing?
Because that not only turns off his terrain, but puts grassy terrain back up. I don't know if it does enough, but
I don't think it helps enough with
I don't
Pachirisu.
think. Yeah. Oh, I think you might. Kyle, you might be cooking here.
He's still gonna break the terrain here with the roll, though.
Where you're attacking into, you don't have to worry about any of those redirection. Gonna see that
Like, that's just a pretty
electric
safe
terrain
switch.
Once again, the Rillaboom hitting the field and taking away a little bit
You
of
called
power
it.
from that Miraidon.
I did call it.
Now we have to see if it brings it back to Sash.
I'm very
Follow
curious.
me.
as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much the percentage is.
Now did he discharge or did he Draco'd? Okay.
Draco'd. Really nice switch here from Aaron. -2 though. Rillaboom taking a little bit of damage for its trouble, but a really worthwhile one.
No, that does not heal enough.
Now at -2, the Miraidon would have to just manually swap to be able to get that back, and that's where something.
Although he is looking at a
can find
-2
advantage into
Miraidon
this.
now.
With that critical hit on the swap, and the
That's
Pachirisu
true. It's not a
has
bad position for
taken a
Aaron at
lot
all.
of damage,
No.
and
And he
even if you
can
protect the
threaten
swap, you can just kinda double into
fake
the
out
other
because
swap,
Frig's dead.
and you would have to make so much headway with that Miraidon back going on forward. So a little bit of a dangerous spot, and even eyeing up something like a fake out into it.
I think you
It
fake
is a
out Patchy.
choice
I can't lie.
Miraidon. It's a little bit tough. Your Trajan has to.
He's
tread
not leaving his
carefully.
Miraidon
Yeah,
in.
and depending on how both trainers have trained their Pokemon,
He
they
might.
speed tie here.
I guess you're switching Chi-Yu in, I guess,
I was
is your
gonna say,
only
you're switching
option.
Chi-Yu in,
to
though.
be able to remove it.
Because if he leaves Miraidon in and
Decision
follow
has to be
me,
very careful here.
it's,
You haven't got the
Yeah,
freedom
but I
to
think he
switch
wants his
something
electric
to kind of
terrain
stop
up. I
that.
don't think he wants to
You've
risk
got the
Miraidon
Chi-Yu
dying.
You really probably want to
I think it's a
utilize later on this
swap
game.
moment.
Oh, he left
Fake
it
out
in.
into that
Okay.
Miraidon.
you can't sack
So that's
Chi-Yu
going to be
here.
the fake out. Follow
I don't
me.
think so either.
The
I agree with
Miraidon,
Matt.
It won't be able to act, but it won't get KO'd at this moment. His throat shot from the
Bye,
Shin
Patchy.
Pao.
That's a super good turn for Aaron, though, because now he gets his full focus sash back.
A little bit more Rocky Helmet recoil.
He doesn't get his focus sash back.
Now down to his
With grassy
final
terrain, he
two
does.
Pokemon, the little
He
Yeah.
just took Rocky Helmet again.
Oh, he took Rocky Helmet again. You're right. I thought he clicked Icicle Crash to avoid that. My bad. I looked
No,
at
he
it.
throat chopped it. I don't think he wants to miss.
A lot of control of
That's
this
super
match,
fair.
making it very difficult for Sejun to get.
Throat
But it's also,
chop
it's like-
over to Chi-Yu.
The chat
Looking for that.
07's
The result
Pachirisu.
of the
07.
Chi-Yu coming back onto the field, it is pretty healthy.
Everyone loves
Now,
the little squirrel.
doesn't have that
This is
support
actually- this is a
network
pretty
of that
nice
Follow
position.
Me, the Farigiraf, so it is
Yeah,
gonna be
he's sitting really well right
susceptible
now.
to that Sucker Punch.
If he can
I
hit
mean,
both, if he hits a double heat wave here,
Locking in
Yeah,
Sucker
double
Punch
heat wave
into that
and
Chi-Yu,
Sejun wins.
that's probably enough to pick up the knockout. Miraidon, it's
Uh,
down to -2
although
now.
Sucker-
It's probably not going to get
I don't-
Sucker
him,
might
so you're
kill
pretty safe
that.
going for something like a U-turn
Well,
into
Sucker
that
plus
slot to allow
Grassy
a free
Glide
switch
will,
into
100%.
Yeah, Sucker
Next
plus
turn,
Grassy Glide
once
will.
you've dealt with the Chi-Yu, you've got a pretty easy route to being able to deal with that Miraidon, which would be down to -4.
Oh!
With
Yeah,
He would
outright
need the
kills.
Grassy.
Make it official.
Outright
Sucker
kills,
Punch.
wow.
Chi-Yu is down for the count.
Aaron
And only
Cybertron
one
Zhang
Pokemon
here.
remaining here in this game one between these two trainers, all down this -2 special attack. Idon. Grassy Glide. is
Yeah,
just gonna
no,
be that
I don't
little
think
bit
this
of
is gonna
chip,
do
not
en-
very
do enough
effective,
here.
but slowly
Did he
but
miss Draco?
surely,
Oh.
as well, the Draco Meteor
I mean, you might as well get him out in the game. You're not going to win.
Yeah, he's fucked either way there, but
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That seals the
I don't
deal,
think a
think,
-2
for Aaron, but
Miraidon can kill even the Terra Dragon.
There's
he is locked into
Aaron's,
Draco, but like, I still don't think that kills
that's just insult to injury right there.
Very difficult decision to get kind of any foothold in this game. The sucker punch there.
Aaron played that super well.
To go 1-0 up in this round 2 set.
Really, really well played. And we talked at the beginning of the match about
What did I
how
miss?
there may be a
Pachirisu
window of opportunity for
tried to do
victory.
something,
Seijun
but it
to get
didn't.
the
It didn't do
Terra
anything.
out of
So
Aaron could be where he kind of
Cybertron won
advantage,
game
but
1.
we didn't necessarily talk too much about Aaron being able to get that Trastalization out of Seijun. That was the very first turn Trastalization from that Chi Yu to make sure that it wouldn't get hit by a fake out. It's choice item locked. It can't protect. All of a sudden, it's Terra Ghost. The Fako didn't even go towards that slot. And it's a Chi Yu that's just absolutely done for later in the match once Aaron was able to
How do you-
diligence, get rid of things
How do you,
the
like,
Farigiraf.
play
Yeah, and it was a really big
game
hard
2
commit as well from the
as
Chi Yu
Seijun
that kind
here?
of
I don't
cost him, and then
particularly
as we're seeing now,
know.
the
Like, I think
Pachirisu coming
he did
onto
make the
field,
wrong call, right? He made the wrong
timed as well
call.
as probably what Seijun would have
Terra
liked. Aaron
ghosting
really
his Chi Yu
capitalizing there with
turn
that
1.
big throw chop and making
Like a
it
switch to
way less
Farig would have been safer,
useful than it would
but
normally be coming in at full
you
health.
still take damage. Like it's hard.
I think if Patchy is Iron Hands in this matchup, I think it gets a lot.
I'm looking at the
I was gonna say the same. I think he needs to bring Iron Hands
Yeah,
in this
but
one.
it's for the content.
Yeah, he brought Patchy game 1. I think you bring Iron Hands game 2.
Yep, I agree.
Sticks around for a little bit, and you're now at -2. When we got to see the Miraidon hit the field later on, it was the Draco Meteor that all of a sudden puts it at -2. And if you're constantly swapping, and Aaron's just doing consistent damage to those swap-ins, like with Pachirisu,
Does
when the Farigiraf swapped in,
Iron Hands do
well, then
more?
Seijun, I mean, you can't constantly be swapping.
I think the
You
fake out
eventually
pressure
need to
goes a
attack, but
long
if your
way.
own
I guess, but he has no moves. He's
getting
low
lowered,
kick.
it's not going to help you go too
I mean,
much.
don't
So
say low kick.
even if we do stick with
I'm
kind of
going
the same
to.
Pokemon going into this,
Because
I'd really like to see
that dog is
different
probably pretty
selection
heavy.
if you're
He's
already
also
getting
sword
away with
stance.
these moves.
I do
Pick
believe
something
the
that you
dog
can
is
just spam
heavy.
over
Yeah,
and over.
I think it's low kick for Zamazenta.
Yeah.
That would
it's
make
like a
sense.
high risk, high reward with those moves like the Draco Meteor.
Because Zamazenta's very fucking heavy.
Same with Calyrex Ice.
Lowering your overall
Obviously not in this
attack power
matchup,
when
but
you're
just in
using
general.
subsequent
What the
turns.
dog doing?
And that's what really cost Seijun because it forced him into
There's a
the
couple
position where
dogs.
he had to
Honestly.
switch out.
There's a
And
couple dogs on
Aaron
my
really
screen right
capitalized
now.
in those moments where he was punishing Seijun, having to switch those Pokemon out to try and get them back.
I do wonder if he was
Just that
very
ball.
scared
But
of
later
the
in
double
game,
fairy type
Aaron just
too,
not
and
giving
bringing
him a
both the
foot
fighting
in
types that
and
he's got.
really keeping the pressure going. So maybe
I mean,
we
obviously
see
Urshifu
something
is not
different as we get into
fantastic
this
into this
Okay.
matchup.
Ooh.
All right, from the get-go, Farigiraf's going to be leading the charge, so no potential of priority.
This is
option
a
coming
this is a
out from
terrible
Aaron,
place
so
to be,
Sucker
to be if you're a
Punch off of the
Farigiraf right
table. Little
now.
swap up from as well. We saw the Rillaboom led from the get-go last time. Now it's going to be Qianpao next to that.
Actually, do you
Zamazenta.
think
Of course, the Zamazenta can start in huge damage
Do you think
here.
after the electric
And does
seed
get that
boost,
defense
do you
raise
think
for
that
later on in the match when we see Seijun kind of
Farig lives a
swap
throat
Pokemon
chop?
around. Maybe a swap could be a great thing to overwrite some terrain at this
I
point.
think
Aaron
it
definitely
probably
has options.
does. With the
Yeah,
with the
a lot of
defense
options
boost,
here.
I think it
not
does.
leading with the
You
Rillaboom
probably
really
can.
strong.
It depends on how it's built,
Flexibility now
but
where
probably
you
I would
have got
assume
the
probably.
I mean, you have the
choice to
defense boost, but you also
preserve
have
that
the
focus out from
the sword of
Chen Pao.
ruin
You'd like to switch
unboost.
that out,
So
get the
Yeah.
Rillaboom on the field, weaken that Miraidon, and then go after that Farigiraf. Which
Yeah, again, it depends on how much
problem is
defensive
the longer
investment it
sticks
has.
around, really
But I think there is a
limit
chance for
what
it
you're
works.
able to do with some of these Pokemon if you have got the NT in the back and the Chen Pao.
What
if you
does
want to use
Miraidon
those
do?
priority moves later on in this game, then getting rid of that Pokemon is probably the first point of call for Aaron. So maybe going after it now.
Probably a lot of damage. Probably a lot of damage.
He didn't Terra Zamazenta. He did and then canceled it.
Activated, so the Farigiraf's defense will be a lot better. Going to be able to take those the body presses.
Look, he called the Terra Fairy right though, because he body pressed Farig instead of Miraidon.
From the Qianpao is definitely going to try and counteract that just a little bit, and the super effective hit
Yeah. Eat it.
is making that electric seed look not that great, taking it down to already half.
Oh,
whoa, dude.
That Pokemon is stupid.
Oh my god, that's so much
That was a
damage.
Volt Switch?
That was Volt Switch. That was a 70 base power move or whatever Volt Switch is.
Yeah.
70.
That kills with an Electro Drift.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't
Holy
Terra.
shit.
He didn't Terra. I don't know why he didn't Terra, but he didn't Terra.
But I like the play from Aaron. I think it's very brave. He's not
Man, maybe
really
he tried to
sure
call it
if he's
Draco,
knocked out
honestly.
with either of these Pokemon.
Yeah, you know,
He's got
I think he
focus
could
out on
have.
Chen Pao. He's got the Zamazenta there. It's pretty well defended.
And he's not in the worst position because at least Zamazenta is still alive.
I mean, yeah, but now he just kills
Means he can't
Farig
pick up that kill.
and Miraidon gets to come back in.
Farigiraf is going down
That is
on
true.
this turn. the Miraidon going out, you get that good amount of damage, and you bring the Chi-Yu in. If you bring the Miraidon back in at this point, well, we just talked about the Sword of Ruin. Well, let's talk about this Chi-Yu.
That pressure is kind of insane.
Those two Pokemon are going to be dealing a lot of
Also,
damage.
I think with the Chi-Yu on the field, if he swapped,
access to spread damage attacks. That's
I think if he swapped Farig into Chi-Yu, I think that Volt Switch would kill.
Damage. It won't even be the Miraidon this
Oh,
turn.
yeah, probably.
Pachirisu has returned.
Yeah,
Pachirisu's back though.
Have utility in that follow me, just giving that protection that the Chi-Yu needs, because then
I mean, Odds is just a helping hand heat wave.
You keep that dock and fire.
I don't know. I think it's follow me heat wave. I think he can't risk.
And the big threat from that body
I think he
press,
has to
you can
Terra
pull
the
into
Chi-Yu,
Pachirisu,
right? Oh no, we already
you can
Terra'd
get
Miraidon. Never mind.
fire
Never mind.
back with a heat wave, which is going to do super effective damage, probably pick up the Zamazenta and take that Chen Pao down to its sash. Also makes it difficult
follow me
to
and
bring
try
the
and break
Rillaboom onto the
Sash,
field in
potentially.
this situation. So really
Follow
nice
me for the Sash break
presentation,
is smart.
Kind of putting that pressure a little bit further onto Aaron to make some.
Is he double? Did he double protect?
Yeah,
What's nice for Aaron, with having so many Pokemon that can protect, he can go and protect both of his Pokemon on this turn.
Because if he locks into Heat
what
Wave,
this Chi-Yu wants to do.
He
and what
overheated.
Into. If it was a Heat Wave, you could have clicked Wide Guard the next time
Can't
around.
Heat
but
Wave in
instead,
front of the Wide Guard.
now you got that
True.
confirmation. It is the Overheat. The Pachirisu, an attempt on the offense here. Super Fang hitting into the Protect. Now that your choice locked, play around that a little bit. But at the same time, an Overheat can do a lot, and the Zamazenta would surely fall.
Yeah, definitely fall, but you probably you know, the one thing is it's so low.
Icicle Crash should not trip trip Rocky helmet.
Pokemon in the back, they can come in and
No,
maybe do
Icicle
a decent
Crash
job
is
on
not
you,
contact.
preserve that Zamazenta, maybe switch it out and try and get some decent damage with that Chen Pao onto the Pachirisu, onto that Chi-Yu. Problem doing that, if you go into the Pachirisu, you're inevitably breaking your Focus Sash because it has got the Rocky Helmet, so it does make it a little bit awkward. The way that Sejun is kind of positioning these Pokemon right now, making it very difficult for Aaron to kind of get that momentum swing or that control that he had in that game one. So really
What's he gonna do? Double the Chi-Yu. And he followed me anyway.
Follow me,
Yeah.
coming on out, no Terra, but redirecting all of
I think
the
at the end of the day, he was
attention
accepting
as
that
it
one of these
wasn't
things has to
already
take this
as
overheat.
from
Yeah.
Chi-Yu hitting
Ooh.
into the Chen Pao. Gonna be
He
bringing
goes
it
for
down
to break the
Sash.
sash here.
Now this Pachirisu
Which
Is he
means
hoping that he
both
throat chopped?
Both his mons are.
of these
Yeah,
Pokemon,
no,
starting off
he didn't go for a
with
contact
this
move.
Icicle Crash.
Yeah.
Good chunk of damage, bringing it just down below half. The body press.
Sejun and Pachirisu? Yeah, it's the 10-year anniversary trip.
Does Rocky Helmet kill some?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
At 39 HP?
Final two.
Yeah, and the nice thing
I had
about the
enough.
Icicle Crash there, not a contact move.
Let's
so
see.
The Chen Pao
No, it
keeping
didn't.
that Focus Sash, although taking a overheat for its troubles. But the Chi-Yu
Did
now down to
29
-2,
chip.
so not going to be hitting as hard for the things that are in the back for Aaron.
Or
Aaron
19
really
chip.
looking on these last legs.
Now
with these two
something's
Pokemon
gotta
out on the
eat.
field. But you've got to imagine the Chen Pao probably
Overheat
the ability
plus
to get at least one
Volt
sucker punch
Switch.
off, but it's not
I'm
really gonna be
assuming
very
this is
effective
probably a
because
double
it's a
protect
very
to see
very
what he locks
big
into.
electric.
Right on, and you're not going to be able to get much use out of the Zamazenta just because of the speed jump that Chi-Yu has.
And even here, you don't have to get too far ahead of yourself if you don't want to. We do have the possibility, since you know it is choice out on the other end, to go ahead with the double protect and just get that confirmation. The Miraidon, since we do have the Dazzling Gleam, it can go for these spread damage attacks as well, and you definitely don't want to be disrespectful of that. Chen Pao is going to be the one protecting on this turn as Aaron opting not to go and
Oh,
protect the
it's actually a
other,
super
but it
smart
is
play.
going to
He
be
didn't
very
protect
solid that Chi-Yu
Zamazenta.
first attempted
Yeah,
to
you
hit
sack that,
into
let something else get in,
Ice
get that
Pack.
sort of
Right on,
ruin buff.
Electro drift time, hitting in to these Zamazenta, already brought.
Yeah, he does have
He gets a
Rillaboom.
sort of ruin E speed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Matt.
Big knockout, taking the
Because, like, yes, he can
Aaron
double
said,
protect,
locking
but
in with that
I
electric
think you want to get.
nice play as well.
Yeah.
Paranormal E speed
Really
could kill this
managing this
Chi-Yu.
game well.
I would
The
agree.
fact that he's
Oh,
protecting at the
yeah,
right
that's
times, like
scary.
you've mentioned,
He hasn't
Banded
cared
too.
yet.
what these choice Pokemon are locking into, because
He
once
also
you
gets a
know what
free
they're
fake
locked
out
into, it
Yeah,
makes
if he
it
free
wants.
fake out.
about switching, about what you bring in at a certain
I think
time,
you do
it'll
this
move
first,
lock
and then you
into
get
a
the
lot
free fake out
easier.
later
So
if you need.
we are going to see
Yep.
the NT come onto the field now, and it is going to threaten with extreme speed into both of these
Yep.
Pokemon.
Yep, that's
Whether or
just
not Aaron
dead.
decides to go for the
That
trialization,
Chi-Yu's
he has
dead
got it
here.
as an option.
That
It
Chi-Yu's
might be
What I
dead
really
to
like
just
too
the
about
E
protecting
speed.
the Chen Pao
Sucker.
in that
That
position
Chi-Yu's dead as
is
hell.
Since we are on the attack attack-heavy end for Aaron, it is something that you can do more and more damage. So you sack off your Zamazenta, you get this fresh Entei in, Terra normal, this extreme speed is going to do a lot of damage combined there with that sort of ruin, and the extreme speed coming on out. Since the rationalization already spent for Sajin, you know that she is not going to be safe, and that's going to be a one-hit KO.
I want to know how much that would have done to Miraidon.
We got a new font for the one-hit KO graphic.
Thank God.
That do respectable damage, not super effective though, more resisted, and the
this
electric
dies though, right?
out and return
Absolutely.
the Miraidon into the Entei.
Goodbye.
Yeah. And now, I mean,
I think we might
Rilla
be
comes in, gets a free fake out.
when we're looking at Asian's end, but the Miraidon definitely putting
as
much of a
I
fight
don't
as
think that
possible.
this math works
It's
out
going to
for
be
Miraidon.
finally time for electricity to disappear if it wasn't going to.
Does he have to go for an Icicle Crash
The
hit?
fourth final Pokemon for Aaron will finally be joining the
I think he does.
I think he does.
Fake out, because I don't think fake out throat chop plus grassy glide is enough.
I agree.
Wait,
Well,
fake
he's gonna
out,
go for it.
no. Fake out throat chop sucker punch grassy glide I think is.
Preventing you from attacking this turn, it gives the Chen power free
Yeah.
turn. Going for the
Yeah, that's
throat chop,
enough.
not
Sucker punch grassy glide on next turn
into the
is
item
enough.
crash,
Yeah,
but
sucker
Aaron being
punch.
sensible here.
If not, you
Risk
just do
of
it
an
again
Icicle
next
Crash
turn.
missing and allowing
Because
this
it's
to
locked into
into
electric
this
drift, so
game.
it
Yeah,
can't even
it can only kill one of your
Threatening
Pokemon,
attack.
yeah.
It hasn't got the boost from the electric terrain anymore, but you still need to close this up as sensibly as possible, and exactly
Not going
what
for
Aaron's
sucker
done
boost.
throughout this match.
I think he wants the extra damage, but I thought that Miraidon was faster.
Ooh. He's faster.
He's faster, he wins.
Aaron
Nice.
Cybertron Zang here.
Great win for him.
Good win.
He played that super well.
Yeah.
I mean, Cybertron's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, am I glad I drafted that guy.
Cybertron's a beast.
The top of the game.
Cam just said in chat, no Seichi.
Coming back in full fashion here at the World Championships in full force against a formidable opponent as well in Sajin, which is just incredible to see. You look at that matchup, you look at the threats on Sajin's side of the field, and you think it's going to be really tough, but Aaron made it look so easy. Didn't break to the pressure. Pressure is for tires. He just did the job and did it so well. Really excited to see Aaron go throughout this tournament and where it can end up.
100%. And this team too, I mean, coming into this tournament,
All right, it's time to check the pairings.
And there's a really high commitment.
Let's see
on
what
this
happens.
team as well. Sure, there is the Fluttermane, the Grimmsnarl we didn't see, but the other big
Justin
attackers
Knox
all
is
being
2-0,
on that
man.
physical attacking end. And really just committing to that.
It didn't come through your mic, but I heard you scream, "Yes, sir."
Yes, sir. So nicely.
I got up to grab the bot.
Justin Knox 2-0. Aurelian Sula 2-0. Kyle, you have him, right?
I know Nickmo does.
Oh, Nickmo does, okay.
Whoever drafted that guy's team.
I wanted to look at round
I should have
one.
drafted Yuki, brother. Oh my god, he's 2-0.
Yuki's popping off.
Get rid of that electric train, but I think knowing his calculations.
Brady Smith is 2-0.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
It's a long day. Let's not get too excited.
Uh-oh.
There's a lot of rounds left.
Oh, you know who beat Zomog in round one was Grant
I'm
Weldon.
going to take away your Farigiraf when I've got the opportunity.
Dings
I'm gonna
2-0.
Take away that Pachirisu because they're your lines of support.
Joe
Once they're
Yu
gone, your team
2-0.
starts to fall apart, especially
Zach
when you're locked into those
Thornberg
choice
2-0.
moves.
And the thing with the choice moves and with how
Wolfie's
Aaron played as
2-0.
well, even just the selection of what he
Are they
has
doing
on
full
his
9
team,
rounds today?
They're doing 8 rounds today.
8 rounds? Okay.
Because it was something that Sajin constantly had to respect, and we didn't see these
Dewabafet
spread attack
2-0,
moves
let's
coming on
go.
out because all of a sudden, if you lock into one of those and it's a wide guard on the
Chua?
other end, well, you have done nil, and you got to swap out, and it's going to be a little bit more problematic. And even in the later stages of that match, when Aaron was going for those protects to get in a lock in, it was constantly
Oh,
just, okay,
Chiliang
well,
lost.
I have to click the
Uh-oh.
overhead now.
Riley's
I have
2-0.
to just have the special
Zhang
attack
lost
down. I have
for
to do a
me.
single damage thing. Even
Oh,
that
2-0-1.
Maraudon at the
This
end,
guy,
the
yeah, this guy's
electric
updating the
does so much
spreadsheet.
damage.
I already know.
You
I
couldn't really
am.
click Dazzling Gleam on that turn because you could have been locked into
Oh
a
boy,
situation
Silva's
where there's a
playing
wide
still.
guard on the other end.
Yeah, and I think that's what was probably always going through.
Colin
Sajin's head
Hire,
there, where
good
the
for
wide
him.
guard was always a threat, and I think it's one of those
Aaron
moves that's
Trailer, good
very
for him.
useful when it's actually used, but it's also one of those moves that when your opponent knows
Chuppa?
it's there,
Chuppa beat
it
Judy.
causes all of these mind games, and you think,
Oh,
right,
Chuppa
you're
beat Judy.
forcing me to go down this road because I can't lock in and I can't commit
Matt, Joe
to the possibility of
Castagliolo
this
is
getting
0-2.
all
Pokey
Or is he?
Alex
Fuck.
is Pokey Alex is
Bad day for
slow.
Z.
There was when you made such a good call in that point where Aaron protected that chest.
Where's Marcos Perez, baby?
I got a lot of players still playing right now, actually.
Luca brought it back. Love to see it.
Justin Burns is 1-1. You fucking Grant Weldon beat 2 of my players.
You should have grabbed Grant Weldon, bro.
I should have grabbed Velocity, bro.
Moxie's 0-2.
No, Moxie boosted cannot be 0-2.
It really was. And of
It's
course, we want
happening.
to hear from Aaron himself. So let's throw on over to Lou for our
No, it's
interview.
Thunderhill's
The bar
Oh,
bounced
here
back.
I'll
1-1.
watch the. I want to watch the
Thank you, Sierra, and thank you,
Aaron Cybertron Zhang interview.
amazing round 2 match. How are you feeling after that?
I'm back.
You are back, baby.
He's back,
Cold.
baby.
That's cold. That's cold. I'm back.
Home. I mean, you say you're back.
Holy.
They could never make me hate you, Aaron thing.
Stage was 2017.
Yeah, you know, I played a couple regionals here and there, a couple of internationals, but I haven't played at Worlds since 2017. We've been lucky enough to cast together. I love casting so much, but you know, I've come so close to winning Worlds, and it's still a dream of mine. And it gets harder than ever, but I was like, I have to give myself another shot at least, right? And at the end of the day, competing at the highest
Dude, I
level
only
is
have
so
2-0
exciting.
players left.
You know, playing Sajin here, I was gonna say win or lose. It's just
Do you have a
fun
link to the
be able go
spreadsheet? I want to
against the
see.
Greatest of all time. in this
Here,
game.
let me make a link real
Just taking
quick.
it one round at a time, but I came back because I felt like, you know, I feel reinvigorated. There's a hunger, there's a fire in me again. So I'm just so happy to be here.
And not only were you against Sajin, but you were also against the legendary Pachirisu on that team.
This is a sign to get those ears pierced. I don't think I could pull that off, brother. I can't lie to you.
Sajin in the competitive field.
Yeah, Sajin and I obviously go
Although
way
he does
back.
look pretty good with the
is
ear
probably
pierce,
my favorite
the ear
player of all
piercings.
time.
He definitely pulls it off.
He looks like a
so much of his
K-pop
team
star.
building Back in the day, drew a lot of inspiration from his ideas. For example, Choice Specs Cresselia back in 2012, Leopard Breloom back in 2013. And I've had a lot of success, especially thanks to his creative team building. And so it was such an honor to fight against him. We actually almost fought in the semis of Worlds in 2013.
Wait, does he only have one pierce?
but
Does he? Is he?
Sajin
That
lost
that's
to
fire
Urias
if true.
And you know, I've looked up to him for so long. I was really hoping we'd actually play at Worlds in 2014, the year he won. And so I was scared of Pachirisu, no lie, because I played so much against Miraidon, but I've never seen Miraidon with Pachirisu. I didn't know my damage calc super well. The Rocky helmet was actually a little bit scary because he did break Chimp Health focus sash,
Did he
really
say
important
Choice
in that
Specs
matchup as well.
Cresselia? Did he?
But I think I just had so
I
much
must have
he
missed
did.
that.
I think it was a 2017 build, but yes.
What does Choice Specs Cresselia do?
Offense with priority as well.
Damage.
Brother.
Damage? Hold on.
The special attack set is not
You have
that bad.
base stats?
Yeah, it is. Well, back in 2017 it was.
75.
It is that bad, in fact. I lied.
Immediately, that's a really bad trade. He had the Ghost Terror on Shiyu as well, which was scary. But game 2, as soon as Spheregraph went down, I knew I'd already had a huge advantage because not only did I bait the Terra out from the Miraidon,
I can pull it off.
I
I've been
also now
told.
just had access to all my priorities.
Well, I guess
So
I've never been
when you
told
go
I should
into
get my
that
ears
game,
pierced.
if
I've been
could
told I
ability
should get a
Spheregraph
nose
quicker,
piercing.
then it just allowed for me to have
I don't know
more
if I
options.
would.
But
I would be.
even
I
if
would. I
Spheregraph's
would probably
still
rather do
good,
ears
the
than
end world,
nose.
it
I
just
can't
means that I
lie.
can't just click extreme speed. And one of the things I was thinking about is like, oh yeah,
It's
Pachirisu can follow me,
0-2.
but I can still just extreme speed away from that. And so, yeah, turn 1, game 2, like played out perfectly. And I already knew I was in a really good
Luca
spot
is
from there.
1-1.
And as well, one thing you mentioned Sajin's kind of creativity, and we saw this kind of combination with Miraidon and Shiyu, a little bit like Fluttermane and Shiyu used to be back in the day. That can deal out a huge amount
The
of power.
wall set
You mentioned you've got a lot
2-0.
of offense in your team, but did you have the defense? Like, were you confident in the defensive capabilities too?
I think it's really scary for a turn, but the advantage is that I have, like, he's using choice Pokemon and I'm not, and I have Protect on a lot of Pokemon, so being able to scout out, being able to have one defensive pivot like I did on game 1, turn 1 was a really big deal as well.
Team
So it's really
Campbell
scary
is
because
still
you're staring down
playing
2 really fast Pokemon, but
Let's
as
go,
soon as Terra goes
Slushy.
from Shiyu, I'm like, okay, Chien-Pao immediately is a win condition from now on because I can hit both Miraidon and Shiyu for super effective damage, which is a really big deal.
That sucks that I'm not
definitely
the.
scary, but the fact that
I'm
you
not
can't
the
protect
best
either
Smorgon
side, and the fact
VGC
you have to
player.
block into a move,
It's
and, like, you have to be
unfortunate.
so careful of your Sajin
Because
he
Slushy's
has
at
moves,
Worlds and Noodle, I
just
guess,
started
but
wide-guarding with Zamazenta, so you can see why he was probably hesitant to
I'm
not
definitely
break
not
away
better
from
than
Dazzling
Noodle.
Gleam, and so I think being able to just weather the storm for one
I'll
turn
be
is a big
third
deal, and
best,
that's
I
what happened
guess.
in game 1.
I mean, it sounds like you have so much flexibility in that team, so kudos on the team building. Obviously, as you've said, this is kind of your big kind of comeback, and maybe some advice for some newer players or trainers maybe looking at this World Championships and saying, hey, I want to be there one day. What advice would you give to trainers? in
This guy
terms of
should
prep and
commentate.
Kind of how to get world ready.
I think you just got to get started. I always tell people, you know, Pokemon is such a difficult game. You just
What if
gotta
he just
play
says
a lot
watch
of
my
games
videos?
and try out a lot of different
Yeah.
things. Don't be afraid
You
of
got to tune
losing.
into
Like,
Road
I
to
think
Ranked.
the best tool
That's
in this
how.
game is
That's how
actually
you
losing
become
a lot
better.
because if you're able to analyze your losses and learn from them, it's such a valuable tool. Even
All
though
I'm
that's
saying,
players
good
who are
ideas.
losing all the time in practice, you know.
It worked for me.
When am I becoming a caster? This is my practice right
Just
now.
take it kind of one step at a time. Don't be afraid to get started. Nowadays, there's just so many amazing resources there are out there.
I think
to get
that would
into
be
the
fun.
game,
I think
and
I could do that.
There's such a wonderful community as well. So just take that first step. You know, pick up a rental team, start playing some games, meet your local community, watch some content that's out there. I know a channel out there in particular that you might want to check out.
Uh-oh.
You know,
There it is.
get started,
There it
I think, and
is.
Don't be afraid. I think that's the main
He's
thing.
got to
You're gonna lose
plug
a
it.
lot when
You got to plug
You don't
it.
get to win in
Watch the road
Worlds
to
and not
ranked,
plug it.
brother.
Advice as well, considering we've been in Hawaii before, and there were maybe trainers starting out their journey back then, and are now, you know, on this world stage doing incredibly well.
I'm typing in a lot of 2-0s into this spreadsheet, and not a lot of them are on my team.
Yeah, I just want to thank the entire team for putting on this event. I want to thank.
I'm so excited for the Worlds announcement next year. We're going to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Auburn Hills.
We're going to Farmington.
You've been a fan of me as a competitor from a
Let's
long
see
time ago,
Sterling Heights,
as
Michigan.
a commentator, as a content creator.
Show me
This community has meant
Alpina.
the world to me, and so it's just such an honor to be on the stage, win or lose. I don't know how the rest of the weekend will go, but it's just so great.
It's
to be
honestly
playing
crazy
Pokemon
how they have not already
again.
announced
So my
Allendale,
best for all
Michigan
of you.
as the next
Thanks, everyone, for
location.
support, and thank you to
Yeah, no, Houghton. The Houghton regional is going to go insane.
Is one of those fans as well. Huge congratulations, Aaron.
That would
Best of
actually
luck in
be
the rest of the
such an
tournament.
insane pick for us because we would be likely to make the it's like an 8-hour drive up to Houghton.
At least.
No one
because
else would.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to know VG Casterly. First off, best question, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Gotta be Tyranitar. It's the best Pokemon.
What? Why'd they put Will on stream? What?
Second off, describe yourself to everyone in
Shut
one
up,
word.
Monkey Park.
Here, let me open the.
British.
Are we going?
He is British. He is British. All right,
Rajan's
what was the
0
very first Pokemon
and 2.
Worlds that you attended?
Rajan started 0-2.
Oh.
Judy started 1-1.
Can we make mid? Can we make mid?
Vancouver Worlds,
Mid
so
tournament
much fun.
trades,
All right, favorite
perhaps.
color?
I don't think so.
Matt, I will take.
Good answers. Good answers.
Listen.
All right, favorite.
What, do you want to swap around Rajan Ball and Z?
Oh man, I don't.
Both started 0-2?
I don't particularly know if I do.
How
How about this? I'll trade you Rajan and Taco Bell, and you give me Lexicon. How does that sound?
Worlds this year.
Tempting for the Taco Bell, I'm gonna be real. Especially because the prize for this whole thing is less than Taco Bell.
You know, he makes a good point.
Has to be. All right. Thank you so much, y'all.
Actually, that's not true. I guess prize pool's $30 if you win.
Yeah.
25, but yeah. Because only 5 people Venmo you. You're the 6th.
Oh, fair.
Do you think they're gonna bring back the laggy ass stadium for the finals?
God, that'd be so funny.
I got you, Claudio.
一番優勝できるポテンシャルのあるポケモンを探しました。同じポケモンをずーっと使い
Moxie Boosted didn't win his round 2, did he?
Moxie Boosted did not win his round 2.
Oh, Moxie Boosted.
Bo's having a tough time in Honolulu.
No, but he's wearing the Woe chain.
He's wearing the Woe chain, and Jay Easy is rooting for him.
Yeah, that is so funny.
次は来年も Day2 行きたいですね。
Oh, I feel pretty good with only 3 losses.
I'm happy.
I'm not.
I also only have 3 losses. Let's go. Wait, Cam told me Nils lost.
Yeah, no, Nils won.
Nils won his round 1? I hate that Cam guy. That man lied to me. He literally, there's video evidence, he said on stream, he said, who has Nils? I said, I do. And he said, he just lost.
Cam's lying ass.
They've been loving Gastrodon. They do push some propaganda on the Pokemon streams. High key. I'm putting on the Unite stream while we wait.
I keep those two. Please do.
Pokemon Unite Worlds.
Also, unfortunately, Cam is. Oh, well, Cam's at 3 losses for now, I guess.
Yeah, because Animus lost.
Yeah.
Where if they have that priority first to release,
teams are actually really liking second pick because
Man, you know, everyone's looking pretty even.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I mean, if you really look at it, there's really only
I'm barely over 500. I'm barely over 500.
I think we have to wait probably like a half hour before the next match, but if we'll just check every so often to see if one of you could keep like an eye on the main stream to see if they start to do another game.
I can.
I mean, main VGC stream is not doing shit right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes before their next match.
Most likely.
Just because we have not gotten the chance to showcase this team from Japan here for everyone at the world stage, and it's a region that we really can't stop talking.
Yo, is that Eric DOA?
Teams representing that region here at Worlds this year, and everybody is talking about how all
That looks just like him. I can't. You can't. That was a pity laugh.
and Zeta division.
He did a little bit look like him.
No, he looked like him a lot. Oh, also Kyle, I beat P5 last night.
Oh, did you really?
I beat Royal, yeah.
Nice, dude.
Cam got my fucking wall of text event because it's a fucking Persona game and the final boss is long as shit. And I was like, can this guy fucking die, please? I think I said him that several times. Like, can this guy die?
It is insane. I've seen some of their screams.
That sounds about right. That sounds like every other Persona boss I've seen.
Yeah.
But if you can't keep up with them in the laning stage,
what's the next game on the list? I think I'm gonna play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door next, Milky.
You just lose momentum against those Japanese teams. Now the thing
But I'm taking a video game, starting a new video game break until we move into the new apartment.
With rejects. So
I gotta focus on like packing.
They have to also
Yeah.
nouns, but I want to know
Packing the next couple weeks is gonna blow.
Do they just play even faster? Do they go for evolutions, quick evolutions? Or are they going to shut someone down? Is there like one person that they're looking at on nouns and saying, this is their tempo?
This weekend I gotta go get a fucking storage unit to throw shit in.
I mean, honestly, impressive to call out that player specifically, if you could find it, because I've been struggling to make that call out after watching and casting.
How many bans does Unite get? Is it still one?
Games at this moment.
Per team?
I have no clue.
Incredibly flexible.
Also unrelated to shit, Brendan. They catered lunch at work, and I got to take home some extra sandwiches. So there's some sandwiches in the
Yum! Ooh, I will definitely enjoy some.
That foundation, they are exceptional at just that. But I'm so
What kind of
glad you
sandwiches?
mentioned
J
about
Mike's?
Japan and the early
No,
game.
they're
Those-
from like
those two words
McAllister's
go
or
together
something.
hand in
Okay.
hand. Japan adores that.
Because you know what we say about J Mike's here.
They are strong in those.
I mean, I love J Max.
You know what we say about J Mike's here.
No, I love J Max.
No, you know what we say about J Mike's here.
No, we don't. You're falling to Bobby propaganda.
You know what we say about J Mike's here.
I can't believe you're listening to Bobby.
Play styles. It's
There's a lot of
We say fuck Subway, bro.
There's a lot of
fuck
people
Subway
you can
too.
listen to. One of them is not Bobby.
of an insurance policy when you're playing that. Do you
That dude got whack ass sandwich opinions.
You know what we say about J Mike's.
into the late game? And can they
We say fuck Subway.
We say fuck J Mike's.
arguably
You can say fuck both of them because neither of them are Firehouse subs.
You know,
Hold up, he's kind of got a point. He's kind of got a point.
See, I got him back on my side here now. None of them are
You're-
Firehouse subs.
Hold on, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Yeah.
rejects also play.
None of them are Potbelly.
True.
I'm not crazy about Potbelly.
Really?
I love Potbelly.
I quite like
Potbelly's-
Potbelly.
Potbelly's
I mean, it's
okay,
not, I'm not
but
fantastic about it, but it's okay. You know? And,
Jersey
you
Mike's
know?
is solid for two.
Potbelly pizza melt, Potbelly meatball sub. Ooh, they kind of hit.
You know, I used to go to Quiznos all the time as a kid. I mess with Quiznos.
I'm not a Quiznos guy.
I couldn't tell you a single thing that I ordered at Quiznos. This has just as much yapping as the Pokemon stream. Can we play a game?
Legal purposes. Legal purposes. Okay. But to be fair.
Okay, well they're yapping here. They're yapping here.
It's just, I think in those circumstances.
Nothing but yap. I'm not watching cards. So.
I can see what teams are trying to do with the Mammoth Swine.
No, I would rather do anything other than watch cards.
Kind of my favorite.
Wait, let's watch Go. What's Go up to right now?
Pokemon. It's self-sustainable for.
Oh, can we please watch Pokemon Go? Actually,
We gotta see what Pokemon Go's up to.
tell me they're tapping it.
They're
up
probably
over there.
tapping away at the screen right now.
Please show me some.
Oh, they're
some
tapping
colors.
away at the
here we
screen
go.
right now.
They're tapping it.
Oh,
up.
they're tapping, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Charge a bug, baby.
We will not see a power whip here because it is resisted. But
Keen Campbell won. Pretty. He's
Let's
2-0.
go.
They come through.
Okay, he used his barrier to block.
Yeah, Valiant Fish has
Who's gonna win the 1v1?
of
Is it Charger Bug or is it Licky Tongue? That Licky Tongue is licking like crazy.
He's trying, man.
Goes for the body slam, gets blocked. Switches to Altaria. Oh my god!
Sacking his Altaria, recognizing there's not a lot of room
Marco Silva's 1-1, Kyle.
The discharge!
letting it absorb all this energy.
It eats it!
Yeah, I saw it. Like, he went 1-1. That's tough.
What a switch to a Azumarill here, by the way. What a switch.
This exact situation, his
Come on!
Altaria versus the Azumarill.
Oh, yeah. And Altaria is in
Ice
trouble.
move is... Wait, there's an ice move coming out into this Altaria right now.
Altaria does. Yeah.
Oh, he did not eat those.
They have one-hit KO graphics and
It just wasn't a one-hit KO. It was not a one-hit KO. That's crazy.
Brother was at 2/3 health.
That was several hits.
Wait, you get to have 2 moves in Go?
Yeah.
I have Pokemon with 2 moves in my box.
I've never seen a Pokemon with 2 moves. I can't lie.
Yeah, you have to. I forget what.
You have to
I was gonna say
spend,
every single Pokemon I have has 1 move.
Yeah, you have to spend one Stardust candy.
A water gun down of an Azumarill.
Yeah, bunch of Stardust, bunch of candy. You get a
Oh, but he's
second
got Quag. He's got Quag. He's fine. Bulk 88 is fine.
There are no protections left on either side.
Quag eats. Quag eats.
Quag eats this. Quag eats. Quag eats. Quag eats. Does nothing. Does nothing.
Light work. Light work, no reaction.
But he doesn't have a ground move. He doesn't. He has Stone Edge. He doesn't have a ground move.
I think
you don't need it. You don't need it.
Waits a turn, allows the water gun through, prevents the swap onto Lickitung, and does land the Stone Edge. Great technical play by him. In comes Lickitung.
Oh, and it's just Lickitung left. It's just Lickitung left. I don't think he can handle it.
Be enough to KO, and then there's a charge bug in the back. Is there still a way for Valiant Fish to win this game? It looks like he's going to be trying as hard as he can. Not quite able to.
Okay. Oh, it's coming down to the wire.
Not going to be able to be reached. Lickitung is at the body slam. Body slam hitting, connecting with the.
He got it.
No
He
way.
got
He
it.
got it
Oh,
off.
he got it.
He got it off.
Oh, that's
1
tough.
HP in a dream.
1 HP in a dream.
That's crazy.
That's insane. That's insane. Okay, wait, Unite's playing. Hold on.
Like, like,
I've actually liked
dude, I can't scream this much. My throat does not work still.
Hi, Britt.
I'll scream as much as I want over some good tapping.
Sure, that was some good ass tapping. They're still yapping over here. We got plenty of Unite to watch.
But if Nouns are able to get on top of Rejects and certainly on top
Dude,
of
there's so many fucking Unite Pokemon already that I don't know what they do. Like, it has not been that long since I played Unite, and I do not know what half the shit does.
As I said.
Yeah, I mean, Gyarados, a Pokemon.
I do appreciate that they're putting plenty of mons in there, though.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a 1 HP in a Dream VGC graphic?
They might put it up if we wait.
They could.
I have to imagine we see a little bit of Gyarados strength in this first matchup. But, I mean, when Haruto's playing it, you know it's
Honestly, the 1 HP in the Dream kind of goes crazy.
It does.
Top lane matchup might be the most important lane for both of these teams.
Genuine question, is the Unite team just LOL and Dota rejects? I mean, maybe. I feel like I don't really... I don't know. But I feel like Unite just has a player base.
One, it has a player base, and 2, there were some like real players that were into it for a while. Because for a minute there was like actual prize pools involved.
This is awesome. By the way,
I don't know if there still is, but
wait, Chansey Jungle?
have to make it to one of them. We have signs for both
Invade?
and
We're invading
Chansey.
We're invading Chansey? Oh, you were too late. You were too late, brother.
Reject gonna start things pretty hot. Leafeon on that early invade gonna take the red buff despite a Desu trying to protect it. Oh, sorry. Flip flop. A Desu does not grab the
Oh, this Chansey is boned, bro. Yeah, what are you doing, brother?
bro's just stalling at this point.
I guess he's stalling, but you gotta. What I would do is run into the brush and back.
Yeah. He's just stalling the Leafeon.
I forgot Beldum was in this game.
Yeah, I've never seen Beldum in this game. I do not know what it does.
Wait, so is the meta 3 bot, 1 top, 1 jungle?
That's what it was the last time I was paying attention to Unite meta, but I have not paid attention to Unite meta in a good solid year.
There are only 2 lanes, yeah, foolish.
from Satake is going to try to chase the KO and
Okay.
Umbreon to fall first.
Big pressure on bot here.
There's not really much I'm going to be able to do here, unfortunately.
But yeah, 113 was the meta the last time I was paying attention.
Okay. Yo, what's up, Gyarados? That's a sick skin.
I was
can't
thinking the
lie.
same.
Reeling here for now. They did get a couple of scores in. They're not doing too badly as well. The lanes are looking pretty even,
But also, the last time I was paying attention to Unite meta, you could run dupes on across teams, I think.
Oh.
So,
Even in
I have
ranked?
not been paying attention recently.
You do get 2 bans, I see.
Unbelievable. We already talked about how
They banned your guy.
matchup into the Blaziken in particular. So if you can actually outpace that, it's going to be huge.
Actually, they banned Cam's guy. My bad.
I play a little Elagos.
I was talking about Comfy.
I know. I love me some Comfy VGC.
I don't know if they're losing their Lampet there, unfortunately. That is their main source of damage, but it was a big jump coming out from Naz. But now we
Oh, Leafeon ganking bot.
They're looking to commit, though. They're deciding that they're going to have to.
What an insane ult.
But double knockout here for Rejects. Nouns just couldn't latch on.
Wait, he died though. He got sniped by Inteleon. I didn't even notice.
With a 1 auto attack track down.
I enjoy being comfy as well, real.
Low HP. Yako and Tamara
How does the score thing work? It's like, it's kind of unique. I don't know how to describe it. You get like orbs by farming, like farming the jungle camps and getting kills and stuff. You get orbs, and then you go to their goal, and you like dunk the orbs in that you have stocked up. And then once you dunk enough orbs into the goal, it breaks and disappears. It's like destroying a tower in like a normal MOBA.
They've got a Blaziken, for goodness sakes. They guarantee it with the Inteleon. So now securing the first objective in that bottom lane and a support of.
Wait, who got
They
red
might even
Jace?
get a Chandelure if Rejects stick around.
Inteleon got bottom.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, they got crazy pressure.
We will make it back to that goal zone, and those scores will go in. Toon is going to break this
You
goal
know,
zone.
Nouns Esports kind of goes crazy as a name.
Nouns Esports.
They were
Nouns.
They were the best or one of the best teams when I used to pay attention to this.
But we will let Gyarados do the work in the top lane. The top tier 1 goal zone has been pushed on the side of Nouns, so a 1-to-1 trade at this point.
Oh, skirmish in mid. Gyarados came in.
We are seeing a massive team fight here as the Clefable gets taken out.
Oh, but he can't do anything. Like their bot is kind of insane.
Everyone here as well. Rejects looking to get the KO, but they just can't find those connections. So just a 1-to-1 trade.
Yeah.
Things are looking a little spicy.
They were
here,
outmanned too. Like Gyarados rotated, but Metagross didn't.
Dominant lead keeps the doors open for both squads.
It's really interesting. I feel like all the pre-show talk we talked about these two teams in particular is kind of already happening. That early game focus from Reject, very evident, focusing on the scoring patterns with the Regieleki, but levels are looking fantastic for Nouns Esports. We got a few targets in double digits, particularly the Metagross out-leveling.
Oh yeah, they are out farming them like a lot.
So that focus on those
Like,
late
pretty
game team
badly.
fights huge, and yeah, we're trading snipe shots. We're trading snipe shots for overheats every single time. The damage numbers are going to be.
What does Umbreon do? Is Umbreon a?
Yes, I mean,
Umbreon's a tanky
probably
support.
the best support
Okay.
to have if you're constantly taking all this.
I think it's
right?
technically a
Heals are
tank, not
very
a support.
valuable, but look,
I mess with
Rejects,
Umbreon as a Pokemon. I like that guy.
I like it a lot in Unite.
This Pokemon has completely fallen off, and I do wonder
I also
if
just like it a
Rejects
lot
maybe
in general.
forgotten
It traps you in a circle with mean look. They gave it mean look. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
they're-
for these teams would be vastly different. They would always be conscious of where an Inteleon would want to be sniping.
Yeah.
And so the
I think
fact
it's
that
also
we're
got
seeing
snarl
all
and
of these
fake
constant
tears.
connections, it makes
Damn,
you wonder, like,
that's
maybe
cool.
Rejects, they're not feeling too comfortable here. They're playing against something that they haven't trained against in a long time.
Yeah, and to be fair to them, they're playing against one of the best.
Is Blaziken
Inteleons.
a speedster
There's
or is it
reason
an
we called
attacker?
Toon James Pond for a long time.
I
Right?
want
They-
to say speedster, but I'm not
understands
confident.
this
Okay.
Pokemon to a level that
Part of
I
me
think
wants to say
very
attacker
players
because they don't
in
like putting
the entire
speedsters in
club
the
can.
game.
Case,
That's
he's gonna have
true.
the answer there. Leafeon will get knocked
They
out.
eventually started.
Okay,
doing
Gyarados is going crazy
Yet
now.
again,
Let's
and now
go.
this Gyarados is going to push from the top side. The rest of the crew with the bottom side. Telekinesis
Gyarados
is gonna
gank?
grab Toon. They get picked up.
That was a super
gold
good
zone
ult by
will
the
not
slow
be
guard there.
defended, but the Fellstinger will get them out of harm's way.
They did use the Dragon Currents as well. They did not move the full commitment onto the Inteleon, which I think was the safer play. If they went too deep, I think the team would have dove. So for Rejects, the fact that they showed so much self-restraint there, really preventing from giving away that experience and potentially allowing Naz to really procure that lead. But again, this game is still so close. Yes, the points, there might be almost...
I was just about to ask if Unite was best of 3, but I realized there's a giant graphic on the screen. This is best of 3.
There sure is.
Right? If you push extra and get a couple of KOs,
how's VG doing? They're still talking about Maridon, bro. That's crazy.
I'm keeping tabs on it.
I imagine that'll be most of the day.
On the run now is
just check in. Yep, we're talking about Maridon.
See, I don't play Unite anymore, but I do know MOBAs. And if there's ever a situation where there's 4 people chasing you and you're running away and not fighting back, you probably lost the team fight. Like I think I can call that one.
That's not good.
Yeah.
They were hoping to just get a little bit more there.
Reject remembered how to play against Inteleon, I think.
I'm Choice Specs, I'm Hadron Engine, I'm Terra Electric.
Priority #1. You talked a lot about that before our match began. What targets do we shut down? Clearly, Toon has been the call out by Reject to focus on. This Red Steel will go to now.
Does Ray spawn at 2 minutes or 1 minute? 2. Okay. I'm remembering now. I'm getting it back.
Reject camping out extremely early around this Rayquaza.
Yeah, they also spotted out the Blaziken, but they don't know where the rest of the team is. But the fact that they are so far forward, they want to jump onto somebody right before the Rayquaza. But can they find anybody? Love the positioning from Naz. They're so defensive, playing on their side of the map. They do have providing vision for the team if they can.
I do like that.
They know where not to be.
Just I don't know what he does either, but he looks like he's a pretty cool character.
He does. Inteleon doesn't actually want to push too far in these seed fights. They want to apply a little bit of poke damage. That's a great start.
Wow. That Inteleon snipe. Did you see how much damage that did?
Oh, yeah. Gatlu does put up the walls, but they immediately drop them. Tamarin gets a little bit of damage.
Metagross has Jarvan ult from League?
Reject is able to completely
what?
out of that fight.
That's super cool.
Oh my gosh, did
honestly.
you see the play coming out from the Clefable?
Yeah, I had no clue what Metagross did before this exact moment. So.
Metagross Unite from connecting. So now it's going to be a bit of a stalemate around this Rayquaza.
I do love this little dance they do around Rayquaza.
I know, yeah. This is just like this is a real MOBA experience, though. This is dancing around Baron or Fire Giant and Smite.
Yeah, nobody wants to commit too heavy.
Okay, well they win the game off that engagement for sure.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, I guess Inteleon's full health. I think it can. Look at Inteleon.
Inteleon can clean up.
It is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rayquaza. That's a KO streak of 3, and this is now Esport's best chance in this match.
Yeah, Inteleon gets a quad.
Who gets right here?
Inteleon.
Yeah, Inteleon gets it. Yeah.
Inteleon MVP.
Wow.
That's insane.
And they should be able to dunk these points for free. Rejects can only watch on and think, what
That's game.
You have to ban Inteleon next game. There's no way.
In favor of Rejects, but the fact that you had the trump card, the Bliss assist Inteleon, those boosted basic attacks, so much damage.
They're doing almost 3,000 damage each auto attack. I mean,
yeah, going from
that's just
2 KOs, I think we won this team
That's
fight.
crazy.
As they are scoring points upon points.
Or Odin ult from Smite, I guess, technically.
Got one thing in their mind, and that's James Pond. Toon on this Inteleon.
There's no shot he just called it James Pond.
What a start to the series. Now it's Esports still hot after that last set.
Still hot, and they also are prepared for Rejects. Like, you could tell in that matchup, they didn't let Rejects run them down during the laning stage. They were also prepared and ready to say, we need to make sure Gatlu is up, right? Yes. They put a lot of emphasis for Gatlu's lane to make sure that he was going to be okay. And
is Nouns a real organization, or is it just a funny team name?
I believe it is a real European org.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was unreal. We even saw some like clutch fell stingers to dodge a Gyarados Unite move at times. I mean, if you are looking to
what gets fell stinger in this game?
I know what gets fell stinger.
Buzzwole?
Buzzwole has it.
It wasn't in that match,
but it wasn't in that match.
Buzzwole wasn't in that match.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what has it in that match.
Sarayu at only 1 knockout in this set.
No idea, honestly.
Maybe they weren't referring to that match. Maybe they just referred referring to like
I mean,
in general what they've seen. Yeah.
No, I heard Felstinger come up more than once. Though.
Oh, interesting.
Oh man. Going into game number 2, okay.
They had a Chandelure, that wouldn't have it.
No.
Gyarados wouldn't have it.
How do we fix
Well, it was they said to get out of Gyarados ult, so it had to been on the other team, right?
Does Inteleon have it? Inteleon might have it.
Why does Inteleon have Fell Stinger? What?
Or do we adjust our draft to deal with the Inteleon?
Oh man, if you ban Inteleon, you're probably inviting a Charizard or something similar.
Yeah, Inteleon has it.
Oh my god, it's Fell Stinger.
Yeah.
Why?
On this Inteleon,
me with my slick spoon.
Is ridiculous
I guess it is a
for a
bug.
Pokemon that is primarily a sniper. Normally their job is to close out knockouts and finish moments, but if they're applying that much Pokemon,
Why does it have that move? That's a great question, Milky.
Your team's in a great position, but maybe you're inviting some.
That does remind me a lot of
for that next
OG
game.
Disney
When I mean
Live.
more aggression, I mean more early game
Yeah.
Pokemon. Really?
Isn't Fell Stinger? That's the move that gives you like a +3 boost or whatever if you get a kill with it, right?
A bit of a slower matchup. Some Pokemon
I think so.
In,
I mean, I don't know what it might be
in like the
something a little
real
different.
game, yeah.
It might be something different, but I think so.
I've always been tempted to put it on like Trick Room Escavalier builds.
Yeah.
This guy and his Trick Room Escavalier.
I love Trick Room Escavalier, bro.
It's a really cool one.
Gyarados, right? Pokemon Chandelure definitely not known for its early game. Gyarados,
It needs a moment.
it needs a minute, but once you give it that breath of fresh air, it's definitely coming for that top spot. But I do think we see
Coming from a MOBA background, if you do not ban Inteleon, you're throwing so
Again,
hard.
this Chandelure kind of feels a little iconic to Pee-wee's playstyle. However, Pokemon that is way stronger in the early game that I also know that Pee-wee
They
loves
had that team fight as they picked up 2 knockouts, they should be good, and then Inteleon just cleaned up with everybody at half health.
Or you build like Hyper Dive, but I don't know if that really exists in Unite.
Is this game the right game to play? Because
I don't know what the current state of
Like
Unite looks
Absol?
like, so
Is
I
that like
don't know.
Is that like a dive character?
I was gonna say like maybe Absol or Talon,
one of those things is that
because Talon kind of plays like that, but I don't know if it's any good right now.
I was gonna say.
Pokemon with more health, more defensive capabilities, and for Cramorant, this Pokemon thrives when it's.
What are they yapping about now?
About Cramorant.
They're yapping about Rillaboom.
Talking about Monkey.
They're yapping about
A
Rillaboom.
lot of damage and really get rid of.
As the chief proponent of Big Monkey.
I'd like to think that they were talking about Miraidon the entire time until I clicked over, and now they're just talking
Yeah.
about Rillaboom.
So all of these really big Pokemon.
Nah, they talked about Fergoref in there too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Change, you know, if we start to see an evolution comp appear on the side of nouns, like that's when Pewie's like, it's cram time. That's the time.
Well, you know,
to
while
play
we're
cram.
waiting around, what do you guys want to do for the next PSPL league?
Oh, for the next PSPL league?
Yeah.
Little Cup.
Right? Cramorant does
That would be
shred
fun.
physical
Little
and
Cup,
special
please.
with its
That would be so
utterance.
fun.
So
I don't know if you guys know about the forum, but I put out that forum. And
I
the
did not
results
fill
were
it out,
very
I'll be
ambiguous.
honest.
I'm looking at
Okay. The results were quite ambiguous.
I
Yeah,
can't.
that makes sense.
defenses and enabling the cram.
Rejects did ban the Surrealage.
I think the options I was going to go with were either another draft league, because Reg H draft would be really fun,
But it was game number 1.
or I was going to go with,
I mean, Reg H would be best.
yeah. I'm either going to do Reg H, bring whatever you want, but we're also going to do Sunday night tournaments, so I don't know if we want to do both.
I wouldn't do Reg H, bring whatever you want if we're doing Sunday night tournaments.
Yeah. Because we got like 6 people interested in tournaments, and I can always pull in more people. Actually, we got 7, maybe other people interested too, so.
Rajan Ball tweeted, his opponent pulls out a Smeargle plushie and says, "I don't care about Reg G, I'm just here to ruin someone's day."
That's awesome.
That's unfortunate.
That's crazy.
Oh, they didn't ban Inteleon.
Didn't
Is
ban it.
Cerulege like insane or something?
I wonder.
My understanding is that Cerulege is busted.
Okay.
Really play this Pokemon with such
Wait.
masterclass, and the Surrealage, we all
Why
know
are they
this
banning it if they're first
really
pick?
let it run rampant, but interesting choices though.
I don't know if they just don't play it.
I guess, but like
It's interesting they don't play it.
in Smite, if there's a #1 option you always pick, you let second pick always ban it. Because if they don't ban it, then you get it.
I wonder if they're just really not that comfortable with it.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, my thought is either they don't have somebody that's comfortable on it, or they have something that they really wanted to prioritize with that first pick. Like they have somebody that they really wanted to prioritize. That's Slowbro.
I mean, honestly,
I guess this doesn't. This is different than. Wait, how does this work? How does this pick work? Is it like League and Smite where it's like you take turns picking, or is it
looks like it.
Okay.
Yeah, you take turns picking.
Yeah.
Yako currently holding on, or at least hovering over that comb.
Gatlu on Nouns used to be, I mean, he might actually technically still be the best Greedent player.
If they pick this Comfey, which they do.
That is cool, though. I've been Slowbro for a while when I played this game, so it is cool to see him go at #1. Like, he's still that good of a support.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Slowbro ult is always going to have value, right?
Yeah.
Like, just picking somebody up in the middle of a team fight and saying...
Mimikyu Gaming! Let's
go!
Than we already saw. Gatlu will lock in one of my favorite Pokemon. If I had to pick a main, I would probably call it the Mimikyu. So excited to see that Pokemon.
No Cram, sad.
No Mamoswine either.
And of course,
true.
Slowbro is going to unite, move, and lock down one target. Mimikyu can match with their own.
Oh,
yeah,
but,
I heard them talking about the Charizard. I imagine there's like a cracked Charizard player on Nouns or something.
I believe it. I feel like their bans are probably a little more tailor-made for the games, too.
Yeah. But, I mean, they get to run Inteleon back. So.
How does Are there both Urshifus in this game?
One Urshifu, it's a split evolution, I believe.
Okay.
It needs support from its team, which you're running a Comfey. You don't have a Clefable anymore that's going to come back and provide that instant support.
Yeah, that is true. It's going to be interesting to play around. I have to admit, Clefable in its current state...
Dream match for round 3 is Eric Rios.
Like this Comfey pick. Not great with the
nice.
in terms of synergy, but
that's my boy right there.
I think love a Comfey in particular. So we
let me know when their teams are up on the screen, then I'll switch back over to VGC.
Now, I think if we're going to see a player or a Pokemon really start gaining momentum, it's going to be Saray.
Or like when they're on stage or whatever.
Don't have to worry about that Clefable any longer, getting pulled away by that follow me.
You can choose which one. Okay, that's cool. Is that how? No, that's not how Mewtwo works, though, right? Mewtwo is like they're two different characters.
No, Mewtwo, you have two different characters.
Okay.
There's Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Y.
Are you not allowed to play the legendaries in tournament or something? Because like neither team are playing.
I believe you get. I thought you got one each, but it might be something where they're banned in this
It's like Ho-Oh is new, right? Or is Ho-Oh not out yet?
They might be banned in tournament.
Okay.
No, because Urshifu would have counted and Urshifu was banned. I don't think it's...
Yeah, they really are just... Is that